She said she loves you.
But she can't love me.
But I love you.
Yeah. Look, I know my man's going crazy. I gotta break on myself, I amaze me. Like I'm back in the 80s.
I won't play window anymore.
What's going on?
Play your role. 1xBet.
On to the next one.
Well, here we go. We've reached the end of the RES Showdown qualifier. One of these two teams going to make their way to Blast Rotterdam. Amanda's with me is Ted, and we've got some exciting teams in the finals. It could have worked out differently. There were other ways to get here, but it's NIP versus GamerLegion. Ted, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's been an exciting, prolonged weekend, starting from Friday, going through Saturday, and now it's grand final day here at Sunday. And the one task that we had ahead of ourselves and ahead of Dragon J and the entire team over at RES and Relog was we need to decide which one team will make it into the Blast Open Rotterdam 2026. And we're left with just two teams, right? We have one spot. We started with 8. We had to say goodbye to 3D Max in the first round, which was a bit of a shocking result. Gentlemates also couldn't make it past NIP. And then yesterday, a lot of the viewers lost one of their favorite teams in the face, obviously, of BC Game and Simple that got absolutely annihilated by GamerLegion as well.
Yeah, you're right. Unfortunately, we lost the Symbol viewership. It happens. But fair play to GamerLegion. We had our doubts about them. There were some questions, right? They were facing X-Ruby at the start, and it was looking fairly shaky, to be honest. So I think a lot of people maybe walked away from that match thinking, okay, they made it, but they don't look like a team that's going to really make it. But now, I mean, I don't know. They could beat NIP, I think.
No, absolutely. I mean, yesterday you see a great display coming out of GamerLegion, and both these teams had their hiccups going all the way here, right? Obviously, the side of NIP losing a map against Gentlemates, losing a map against the side of Mix, and then for GamerLegion, as you pointed out, after the struggles that they had against X-Ruby, it was a little bit uncertain how they would do going up against Simple and BC Game. But these guys yesterday, they were very, very dominant. A 13-7 on Nuke with an 11-1 CT side, then you were down 5-7. After the fact, there was a couple more rounds that BC Game was able to win on Inferno, but GamerLegion bring it back in the end, and on the back of a very solid CT side and a great performance out of people like Tolson, like RES, were able to close it out. And I mentioned Tolson because he was one of the big heroes. He dropped a 28-16 plus 11.81 swing on Inferno against BC Game.
Let's go. All right, that's pretty sick. You know, representing Denmark a little bit, we appreciate it. We need some heroes out there at the moment. He's trying his best. No, but it's really good. I mean, GamerLegion is one of those teams. I think classically, there's like a whole long list of teams in my mind that fit into this category of, you know, if 2 or 3 out of 5 people show up, this team is deadly. It's dangerous. But that for some reason that doesn't always. It's like rolling the dice, you know. It's like, oh, I just need like 2 or 3 6s, and I'm gonna be good. It's like, yeah, but that's not always gonna happen. Like sometimes it'll just be 1, and then it's a really big struggle. So I mean, obviously, yeah, if Hypex and Rez or Hypex and PR or anything, any combination of these two, if they're playing well, they're gonna be fairly competitive against a lot of teams. But sometimes it's just one player sort of trying to carry everything, and that is always a bit, you know, confusing and a bit disturbing. Maybe with time that could be fixed. I mean, it's a fixable issue. But that's kind of how I see GamerLegion at the moment.
Yeah, and we have a similar conversation going on over at the other side where NIP stands right now, right? That was one of the main predicaments with this entire team throughout 2025. Is Kaspersky going to be the only star player on the team? Is Rinko's performance going to improve a little bit? Can you really rely on Shush as the anchor to be your most consistent player? And then you bring in Karen, and now you've got the 2 stars. Now you've got the road changes, you've got Karen playing positions like rotation on B, like the A-Rifle on overpass, like the middle player on Enshin on the CT sides, and he's the dedicated entry on T side. So now it feels like with NIP there's a little bit more depth when it comes down to firepower, and truth be told, this game today is a great opportunity for Karen to prove that he can put on display what we seen yesterday, or what we saw yesterday out of him against the side of Mix, against better teams as well in the face of GamerLegion.
I kind of feel like, you know, as commentators, we always end up sort of making up stories half the way. Like, I mean, you're helping to build a narrative of what's going on with the team, essentially. You don't always know if it's true, but the narrative that I'm looking for with NIP that I kind of want to tell is basically this idea that Kaspersky and Can are very, very solid, sort of a good rifling core. Yeah. And my only question is whether or not Wrinkle can be reliably added to the mix. If he can, damn, this NIP, because I have no worries about Shush and Snappy, and it's not even like the Danish buyers. I just think they are provably very, very good. So my real question is just if Ken can do everybody's doing now at a really high level, and then also if Wrinkle can get there, then I think we've got a potentially super good team. I think NIP can actually do really good work this year, but that's a big question mark in my mind at the moment. I don't know what it is about Wrinkle, but he still seems just a little bit shaky, you know?
No, absolutely. I mean, we were having that conversation yesterday as well, right? It kind of feels like sometimes he's suffering from the syndrome of the 45-degree Oper, right? Where he's just going to miss everyone that's right in front of him, but then there's a couple 6 shells that he needs to hit, and he's going to be able to make these, and you're just stuck there being like, am I watching Draken from 2017, right? Why does he possess the skill, but then when there's a very basic shot that an Oper of his caliber should be able to hit, he's just often missing, right? And it's not even about whether he's moving around the map well, whether he's supporting his teammates in a good way. I think he's playing very solid Counter-Strike in terms of fundamentals and decision making. It's just about those small situations like the one we had against Mix yesterday, where in towards the B bomb side they have a double setup, he's in window, and he's just missing people going out the tunnels.
I think I haven't tried this, but I think if I watched a bunch of Wrinkle demos in slow motion, like, you know, literally like a quarter speed, I think I could almost prove that he has this like nervous aim syndrome sometimes where like it's hard to explain, but when you watch enough Counter-Strike, you get a sense for somebody. And I think this is the problem, right? When you're the AWP player, confidence is such a big part of it, and sometimes all it takes is for it to get let loose a little bit, and then it's hard to recover a lot of that confidence. So I don't really know what it is, but you're right. Like he has really great flicks, but sometimes when he's just holding in a corner, and even watching it from the outside, you're thinking, man, I wonder if Wrinkle is going to hit the shot now, or if someone's going to peek him and kill him, and that's it, that's dangerous. That's really, I'd rather he did less flicks, but was more reliable just holding the angles. I think that's good enough right now for NIP.
No, absolutely. It is good enough for NIP. And talking about the Opers, we're going to talk about Hypix in a little bit. It is very interesting which maps we're going to end on in a Veto like this one, Anders, because I feel like this too is an obvious punish pick if you're going into this one and you are NIP. Unfortunately, actually, it's been left out. So GamerLegion go for the Anubis ban. Inferno removed out of NIP. We're not going to see a Dust 2 being brought in. It's going to be a Nuke, Mirage, and Ancient. Now, GamerLegion not wanting to play Dust, this is completely understandable. I felt like that was a pretty clear potential punish for the side of NIP. So I'm a little bit surprised that they want to take it over to Nuke, especially considering how solid of a CT side we saw yesterday out of GamerLegion against BC Game. Now, again, a friendly reminder, that was an 11-1. So maybe Snappy has seen something that he thinks he can exploit into what they were doing on the CT side, and maybe they thought they were going to throw a bit of a curveball. Let's not forget NIP was one of the more solid, tactically, maybe one of the best teams, even at the major, on Nuke specifically. So I'm actually excited about this, but it is a map on which GamerLegion could put up a pretty decent fight as well.
Yeah, I think that's true for all the maps, right? Like at least they're competitive, both teams on all the maps here. You're right. Dust 2 maybe could have been snuck in, but I am kind of curious myself about the Veto, and I thought for sure as well Dust 2 was a potential liability for GamerLegion, but turns out it's a little bit different. I'm excited for it, and I think with the map selection we could hope to see all three maps. And to be honest, the fact is, right, hard to overstate how important this game is for both the teams and maybe for both the organizations as well. GamerLegion, they've lost Ash. NIP are still on this, I don't know, like decade-long rebuild of, trying to get into really play super high-level Counter-Strike again. I think this is the most excited I've been about an NIP lineup for a really long time. And I mean, maybe for a decade. So if they can qualify for Blast, like how cool. I have a lot of respect for what NIP are doing right now. I think it's really cool that they are taking this rebuilding route, and taking, it's a long way around, but I respect it.
No, absolutely. I feel like with NIP, you can just feel how all the decisions make somewhat of a sense, role-wise, and in terms of the players that they're picking up, in terms of the changes that they're making in the style of Counter-Strike that they're playing. With GamerLegion is a little bit of the opposite right now, right? Because obviously you're going into the new season with a lot of people expecting that a couple of players would have left the team. All of us saw the rumors about 100 Thieves, about a couple other teams, potentially even the entire core of PR and RES and Tolson being bought out of another team. ZTR gets removed. Snacks is back into the mix. You've got IMD coming in as the coach, Grasho coming in as the assistant coach / analyst. So there's a very massive identity and tactical change in terms of how GamerLegion are probably going to be approaching the game from here on out, even though they have majority the same players as they did last season. But then again, there's going to be a lot of questions about whether everyone thought that they were staying, whether some players thought, okay, I'm going to this team, I'm going to that team, and now suddenly things fall apart and you're staying here. And what do you make out of the entire situation? How do you get back into the zone? You just snap and you're like, okay, you know what, it doesn't matter what was supposed to happen, it doesn't matter what might happen in the future, I need to be here present in the moment and giving it my all for GamerLegion. So these are all things that are going to make people a little bit, I don't want to say suspicious, but maybe a little bit worried about the cohesion and about some of the individuals performing on GamerLegion from here on out. But yesterday they had no such issues against BC Game, and now they're one win away from a spot in Rotterdam next month. Same for NIP. Map 1's ready to start. NIP on the T side of things, GamerLegion on the defense in the first 12 rounds of action.
Let's go. They've got one Molotov on Shush, and let's see where they're going to end up. If they throw it on the res, which definitely could be the case, then that might be very interesting. He's staying a little bit further back, but it doesn't matter what they're doing right now. They're running into a hail of bullets on the B or the A-bomb site, and it's just all headshots from the CT side. GamerLegion have shut it down. Shush here, now alone versus 4. I mean, he wants to obviously bait them in one at a time, but GamerLegion would be crazy to do that. So what a shame that they never even got to execute whatever it was they wanted to do. They got shut down so hard.
It just gets absolutely crushed, doesn't it? That's going to fill you up with confidence if you're GamerLegion. A nice, easy start on the pistol round on that CT side. And Shush, he was the one with the util, so doesn't even have the armor. Should be pretty easy and plain and simple for these USBs to take him down. And Hypix is just toying with him, just closing, opening the door, not letting him out. Shush, even if he wants to go out and actually have a fight, they're just not allowing him to.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta respect it. You never know if you land a couple of headshots with the Glock, that what could happen, so no reason for them to really do anything other than what they are doing right now. Did you catch where the Molotov actually landed? Because he did throw it, I think. I didn't really see where it was.
I'm not sure it landed on top of HUD, or maybe it did, but yeah, missed that as well. We're probably going to see it on the replay. But as you pointed out, the entire execute just gets denied straight up, and Shush should be going down straight away. Now, this is another potential good start on the CT side of Nuke for the side of GamerLegion. There's two ways that this one could go from the Veto onwards. So, scenario number 1, GamerLegion gets surprised that NAP pick into Nuke, and they're like, oh, what did they prepare? Scenario number 2, they're ecstatic about it, and I think we heard the molly, but it was very late. It actually came in way after the first couple of players had died, so maybe a little bit of a missed timing there on the pistol round.
Very confusing. Not really sure what's happening here. Interesting buy coming out in this round for NIP. They've got a lot of smokes. You can see them in the yard right now being set up. So already looking to see if they can make their way down. Snax certainly thinking about it. He's aware that something could be up. He wants to check if there's a whole army of people. Actually, I think it's a smart move for Snax, because that is a real danger if they get close to Mini and they can just run around the corner with the Tech-9. So I respect the fact that he's looking to see if there's a whole T squad inside of it. Rez down here with an MP7 in hand to see if he can do anything to stop them. They do have a bunch of helmets, but that is so quick. Snappy goes down. This gun is so rapid. He's going to be taking out Shush as well. Fantastic defense from Rez. That's so much production from just the SMG. And Ringo and Kaspersky now struggling to do anything more in the round.
Dink landed, but it's a 4-piece coming out of Rez, farming that cash on that MP7. Casper will be able to drop 1, so this is 2 kills in total for NIP in this force buy, but it's Rez all the way. And look at the bank account right now. He's feeling rich. He's feeling affluent.
Yeah, it's not bad. You're right. It's 5,350 on him. I can't believe the speed with which he got the first one. That's just... He's even backpedaling down the stairs at the same time. That's so sick.
Just look at that. He's one of the individuals that you don't want to get... You don't want to let get into the mood if you're NIP, right? Especially when he's playing that vent rotation position into our single door / mini. He's going to be everywhere. I mean, you've got Snax as an outside player, which is very interesting, by the way, for this team. You've got the IGL. We know that Snax is a bit of a trickster himself. We kind of talked about it yesterday, but he's not an IGL to stay static. He's going to be looking for the fights.
Oh, there's no question about that.
Ooh, maybe not these
yards. Got more than he wanted there. That's a bit funny, to be honest. I think it was NIP last time as well that did the hero Galil buy. I think they did in the second round, but nonetheless, it's, I think, an interesting way to try and flex the economy as much as you possibly can. They're going to lose PR as well, and Hypex's already been tagged up. To be honest, if they lose this round, GamerLegion, I'm going to be real upset on their behalf. Like, I think it's worth criticizing quite a bit if that happens.
Oh, no.
More damage, this time on the res. They are dropping very low. Shush does go down without really landing even a bullet there, but now they're hunting for it, and they know that Hypex is going to be low. So it's up to Rez and Torsen to try and see if they can recover the round. There's about 45 seconds here, but the bomb has already made its way past into heaven, so there should be a bomb plant in this round.
Yeah, it's all about the timing from Torsen, though. Close range. He's heard them up heaven as well. He's going to be so damn quick. Not spotted out. Kaspersky didn't see him. Torsen's got a great timing.
Good kill. Taking down Kaspersky, but they are very low. Yeah, that did blow the gun away. Oh, no. And with the smoke up here as well, Wrinkle, he even has the armor. So unless it's a straight headshot here with the M4 or the MP7, this is going to be very, very tricky. Flash goes through. There's a second one coming, but he's already relocated. Mid-air catching it. Snappy. Quick with the P250, and somehow GamerLegion have found a way to fumble the round. I actually think that's inexcusable. That should not be happening.
Yeah, that was very weird, right? There's a bit of a gap between the outside smokes as well, and Snax is just standing in a spot where he's committing to the spray to get a kill, and then he's not able to get a single one. The gap was big enough for 3 players to be standing on the other side of it. Rez gets his piece of the pie in towards secret, but he gets gouged by a Pit 250 as well. And the funny thing about it, I'm pretty sure that wasn't a failed smoke. That was Snax that must have thrown the Molotov to create the gap for himself. If that was a conscious decision out of the side of NIP to just throw the smoke that way to bait him into a fight, that's very smart, but I'm not sure if it's the case.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where you think, what is the real risk reward here? And the reward just isn't that much, so gotta be careful about that. But for NIP, it's a pretty nice situation to be in. They kept the pressure on in the early couple of rounds. That buy in the last round, didn't expect that much of it. At the yard now, it's going to be Hypex taking down Ken to begin with. So they have a lot of people out here ready to fight. Dangerous for NIP. Trying to do something. I don't think anyone realizes that Snax is so close. Rez is going to end up going down. He probably could have coordinated that a bit better. I'm surprised that with Snax being this close that Rez and Snax didn't have more of a conversation there. But still should be a free kill for Snax coming in.
Yeah, at least one. At least the one onto Snappy, who's walking in towards red right now. Thing is, Snax can't really move. Now Snappy's been spotted out. There should be the execution. Snax is playing the trigger discipline. He's looking for more than one. Doesn't want to give away his position. Eventually has to take it. Can't let him get in towards Sawa. Now he's exposed in the middle of nowhere. Casper able to get the refrag. Down to a 3 versus 3. And his PR down. Jump spotting. Spotted out. And the T's committing towards the B bomb side.
Yeah, good of him to kind of get out and get away and not just fall into the corner, but relocating up in towards the control room. Oh, Veto hunting it down. That's very scary. Good trade, though. Kaspersky at least was there to try and do something. 27 seconds here. Tolson checking if anyone's there shooting him in the feet, and that's not going to be happening. So he can make his way down to join Hypex, who's coming in from the ramp at the same time. Kaspersky's already quite low on health here, but it doesn't change the fact that he's going to hit that headshot, and I think it puts a lot of pressure on. He does have an incendiary grenade, so I guess he could check out the corner back there. He could put some pressure on Wrinkle. Oh, he's going to find Kaspersky in the open. That's really confusing. They were not expecting it. He still hasn't thrown the grenade at all, but he's going to be found by Wrinkle regardless. A close round that goes to NIP.
Yeah, and this is a very reliable one out of Wrinkle and out of Kaspersky, right? They're the ones to get all the kills. NIP showing a lot of presence in towards outside, and this is one of the key things about Snappy as an IGL on this map, right? He's gonna make you be very terrified about outside initially, and then the A-pops are gonna start coming in. And it's very difficult to counter, right? Because there's gonna be different variations of the smokes. You can go with the flip side ones. Obviously, these are the default smokes. Then you can go with the diagonals. You can try and walk in towards Mirage. You can have those walks in towards Secret with all 4 or all 5 players. There's a lot of... a lot of different ways you can play around them. Putting Shush down the vent as well to cut off rotations later on is one way to approach it too.
I love this, and you're right. I mean, it's one of the things that does make Nuke so much fun is that there are so many different things that can be done out in the yard, and they all, or many of them sort of look the same. You know, you've got the smokes down, but what follows could be very, very different. Absolutely is tactically such a beautiful map for that reason. Shush putting under pressure down here, and he's going to get some backup from Snappy. Yeah, they lose a player. I don't think it really matters here. NIP should be in a power position to get the bomb planted and just focus on that for now instead of taking this fight. Surely they have the grenades to get rid of this ramp presence. Yeah, just smoke it off, get the Molotovs in, get the bomb planted, and win the round.
All right, with the risk of infuriating a whole lot of people, I'll just say NIP have already been able to get a better T side than BC Game were able to yesterday. Of course, we cannot ignore how much of a dominant affair that was in the first 12 rounds of Nuke between GamerLegion and BC Game. And it was RES, by the way, that made a lot of it happen. He was 18-3. Constantly denying them in towards that A-bomb side, turning around and assisting Snacks in towards outside as well. But this outside play so far from Snappy and Co has been very impressive. 3 rounds already on the offense. Money for GamerLegion not sufficient to afford another purchase going into the next. That was a full investment, so we are potentially standing on the edge of NIP getting 4 rounds to begin with. And there goes the first tactical timeout coming out of IMD. We had that conversation yesterday. IMD coming in from the polished scene. Obviously, a lot of cohesion. If you would bet with, or you'd think with someone like Snacks, with Hypex, with Grashok as well. But he was previously coaching for teams like Pompa, like Let Us Cook, like Anonymo, Illuminar, Pact. All of these polished teams over the last couple of years. He was once a pro player, by the way. Played for 1.5 years, 2014, 2015.
And he was like, I'm going to coach instead. That's, you know, I'm better at that. He
did play alongside Mirage, and Mirage is a blast from the past.
True. Yeah. Well, we have too much talent, unfortunately, don't we? So, but what we don't have probably is actually, you know, better coaches that can really rally the troops. I think, you know, it is hard to find those people. But so yeah, let's see what. I'm happy to see what he can bring. We did have a tactical timeout, like you said. Maybe he can summon up something interesting here. It's another variation out of the yard here. They're going to be inside as well. So this is the 4-1 split that we're currently seeing. Snappy up on top of Mini as well. But look, they're here so quickly. I can't believe that they're already this far across the map. I know that there's not a lot of weapons really on GamerLegion, but still surprising to see NIP take this much control.
Yeah, Snappy knows how to disrespect you and towards outside if you let him. And the split is coming in. Mac-10 starting to farm up the frags. There goes 2. Still 1 player in towards Mustang, but this is going to get cleared out by Kaspersky. Now they know exactly where PR is as well. Residing towards the back of the bomb site. Not able to get more than the 1 kill, and it's wrinkled to put him to bed. This is going to be 4 rounds on the T side, as we said. Another buy round coming in from GamerLegion on the back of the tactical timeout in the previous. You'd think that this is where the conversation was going to. Hypex on the ope.
Like, I don't know if it's completely fair, but I feel like one indication that tactically NIP have been doing a really good job is the fact that I think both the Ken and Shush that are on 0 kills both, or at least 2 of the NIP players are on 0 kills at the moment. Meaning, to some extent, they're just getting the rest of the team into really strong positions. Yeah, so 2 out of 5, just no kills. Not to say that they're doing nothing, I mean, but it just means that the positioning, I think, for NIP is what's winning some of these rounds really early on with a couple of critical kills.
Yeah, and you can see the reaction here. You've put so much pressure in towards outside that at the start of this round, you want to put a couple more players in towards lobby, make sure that the CTs are not going to push, and then the casual smokes coming in, the diagonals. HE not going to reveal anyone. Karen has been spotted out now, but he's seen the player in towards secret as well. And you can see how many people GamerLegion have on that right-hand side of the map. That's 1 guy Hell, 1 guy Garage, 1 guy Secret. So many people dedicated towards outside.
Yeah, they really don't want to be losing this another time. RES is concerned, though.
They don't know if there's someone down the vent. That's a bit of an issue. And yeah, Tolson is just protecting A from up above and towards heaven, so the A-bomb side as of right now is pretty weakened up. If Karen is able to get that kill onto RES, then they can just go A or drop down the vent. Round might be over.
It looks so uncomfortable from Rez's point of view, but at the same time, oh, he does get the kill down below, just like you said. Torsen now up here, he's going to get gushed up. Luckily that he doesn't quite die, but only for a second, I guess. Kaspersky will find his head. That is a round you can absolutely tell. Like, it's such an interesting round because of the way that Rez is looking around. It shows the lack of information, and it shows how much it's hurting the team. Obviously, we can't hear the comms, but you can imagine Rez having to say, does anyone have vent? And when he's told no, he's like, okay, well, then I have to go back and look. And then it just becomes a bit of a mad round from there on out. NIP, again, winning it with Just a couple of important kills, and that's it.
They were just so afraid that someone's gonna try and take that deep space in towards Garage or walk in towards Mini once again, right? You had both Hypix and Snacks looking for that exact same play. PR was occupied with the ramp, and then Tolson, I mean, you can't really blame him for playing up towards Heaven, but there's no way he's gonna be able to hold on that A-bomb side by himself. It kind of felt like you had so many people dedicated towards Hell and Ramp and that part of the map that everybody else was so vulnerable. Good work coming out of Karen. Kaspersky as well following up with another one in Snappy right now, just calling circles around GamerLegion. This is the, I guess, definition of just being outplayed tactically. Your Oper didn't fire a single bullet in this round.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at here. Oh, what a great start for NIP. I mean, it's a lot of credit to Snappy and the rest of the team for prepping this well for the match, because it is just looking stunning at the moment. 5-2. They even lost the pistol in a pretty comprehensive way. We do see a little bit of a lobby presence. You said earlier NIP were aware that this could be happening. They certainly are again, and the trades are in. Rez went down early. Torsen just sneaks in a kill. Super important for the GamerLegion side to stay into this round as much as they can. And there's Hypex playing almost a bit of a bait game, as if you came back looking for Torsen, it would be the AWP that you peeked into instead. Shush and Kaspersky. They're going to be making their way down the ramp. This is looking like one of the more winnable rounds for GamerLegion, but we're not there yet. They still have to actually get down here towards the B-bomb site.
Yeah, and the issue is they're not even going down the vent because there was a little bit of util there, so there could have been one player that's crossed down, so all of them going through secret was going to allow Shush and Kaspersky to get into a comfortable post plan, but as you pointed out, this is the opportunity. This is the round that GamerLegion need to pick up.
They have an incendiary, but Kaspersky can't really be grenaded out. And the problem is Shush as well. If you throw that incendiary incorrectly into this dark area, it can actually spread not all the way, and it can be really awkward. So let's see if they just try to do it with the rifles out, or if they're going to do something else. There's the first kill from Kaspersky. Trying to get a bit closer. They do take him down. It's just up to Shush, and he'll get the kill on the turnaround. Sick spray coming in on Snacks, and it will be another round for NIP. In the 2v3 this time, this is devastating news.
Yeah, it really is devastating, isn't it? If you're GamerLegion, you just go into the retake, one player gets a kill from the top of the rafters. Oper even tried to clear him out, by the way. Hypix was looking, just couldn't land the shot. Oh, didn't realize Kaspersky was able to get that kill through the smoke as well into towards single. There's the replay. Getting another one, and then Shush, you can rely on him in a 1 versus 2 as well. Spacing was a little bit off, had the time to turn around and just isolate these fights. This is why he's been given so much praise. Shush over the course of the last 1 year, of course, one of the big heroes for the side of NIP in the first part of 2025 when they had barely any VRS and they had to go to all these local VRS LANs, and Shush was basically the only one that was consistently delivering. That was around the time when they were trying to still integrate Arisdos and U-Jerks. Also, there was that very weird situation at the start of last year where they had to play with Jax as well, if you remember, instead of Arisdos.
Yeah, that part of the NIP project never really sort of came off the ground. I feel like it just always felt a bit weird to me. But this one,
he's in the
I
vent
trust it a lot more.
All right, Snacks is here.
They finally shut it down.
Yep,
Can going down too. It's about time. GamerLegion, I mean, they're already in some trouble here, but at least this round should be more or less locked in. It starts with a 3-on-5. Rez does go down in mini. Hypex, just a missed bullet. Oh, but PR's back around the corner.
Going back on W. He was just running out. Kaspersky's got the timing and he's heard him. He's got a free kill here.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The player with the bomb just needs to hide.
That is devastating. You're right. Just giving away the information. Hypex catches him mid-air. That could have been devastating, but Snappy's still there. I don't want to rule out Snappy here. The bomb... Wrinkle, can he plant it on his own? Snacks is kind of nearby, but if they get the bomb down, then Snappy's position could be very, very scary.
Snacks doesn't need that fight. He doesn't want it. And Snappy, Hypix is still thinking about it, but he's going to be so late. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh, and he misses the chance. That is sick from Snappy. At least it gives an opportunity. Wrinkle in the corner. Towson has a Molotov. If he throws it, I think it's the end of Wrinkle almost no matter what. Yeah, it's not even the incendiary, it's the Molotov. So it's going to spread all the way into the corner. Sometimes in modern day Counter-Strike, that can make a big difference, whether it's the CT or the T Molotov. And this time, it was absolutely perfect. So, huge plays coming in. GamerLegion, it's dangerously close towards the end. They're gonna get the defuse. In the middle of that sentence, I thought, wait a minute.
Yep. That was actually quite close, considering that's a 5 versus 3, by the way. This is great effort coming out of NAP, and that just shows you how many layers there is to these D-side rounds. You deny that quick player in towards outside, you shut down the player dropping down the vent. I'm still thinking there was a corner on the far right in front where he could have been safe, by the way. Obviously, it's a lot easier to do it in hindsight and when we see the replay, but maybe there was an opportunity, and either way, you get 4 kills in a bomb plant out of a 3v5. You're going to be happy about it.
Grenade there, not quite clearing the smoke. So, kind of a more common issue than you would expect sometimes in the yard where people try to unhand those nades.
They're expecting a change, GamerLegion. They have no one down on level -1. They've got 3 players ready to pounce in towards the A-bomb side, and Snacks is just playing around the smokes outside. He didn't even break them. Oh my god.
How is Shush just walking on? That's not even part of the main, I think, attack here. Shush just found an opening and said, you know what? There's nobody watching this. That's got to be so frustrating. Let's see if his gun barrel is showing there towards the garage. It doesn't seem like it. I think Snacks has found very good angle. He did spot it out, but I don't know why he didn't just take the kill right away. It seemed like he wanted to wait a bit longer. Now he's inside of the smoke with him. This could be dangerous.
Oh my
Snacks,
god.
if you screw this up, that is going to be unforgivable. But he's not going to do that. We'll pick up the kill right away, and that should slow down NIP quite a bit.
They can still go ramp. PR should be close enough to deal with it, but look at Karen coming in. They've got no clue, and he's been hurt. That should be a free kill for Karen, but he's a little bit too nosy for it. Maybe rush the play a bit. That was the way back into the round. You get that kill onto the player dropping from heaven, then you have an open avenue down the B-bomb side.
This is so scary. Torsen does get traded out. 19 seconds on the clock. Ibex, he can't find the spray. PR's out in the open. He at least gets the double here, but he was all committed to it. If he hadn't got that double kill, it would have been the 1v1 and trying to come out of the vent. So even though that starts a very convincing round in favor of GamerLegion, it's a hard round to win for them. That in itself is going to be frustrating. The feeling that even when we're in a lead, even when things are looking good, it's always down to the 1v1s and the 1v2s.
Yeah, it's a little bit unforgivable to let Shush just walk out of HUD like this and get a free kill, isn't it? Massive round out of PR, though. He was the one to shut down Karen in towards the round. That probably secured a round then and there, and then even closing it out with a double when his teammates started flying down, or going down like flies, shall I say. This is still a good T-side for NAP, but we see another tactical timeout coming in for Exist. He probably feels like NAP could get a little bit more. 6 rounds on the T side of Nuke is usually something that's going to make you quite satisfied, but I think it's just the feeling that you are calling the right things. You feel like you're putting yourselves in the correct positions. It's just about knowing that you could get more. It's not 6 rounds that they've had to luck through. It's 6 rounds of pure outplay.
Yeah. It's been just very, very impressive. And again, it's good to see Kaspersky up there on top of the scoreboard, the main engine. Shush almost able to get the free kill. In fact, they're going to get res anyway. That's crazy. The Molotov that he has to jump through while getting tagged by the AK. Snacks inside of the smoke. He can't do a thing about it. Hypex also burns to a crisp. Towson trying his best, and it's damn good as well. 3 kills with the M4A1. Had to resort to the USP at the end to try and keep the dream going, and it leaves PR 1 versus 2 here. Trying to get through that mini smoke, but NIP changing the pace, an all-out assault on the A-bomb site, and it's worked so far.
Just gotta freeze. It's too dangerous to make a move. That's a great re-smoke in towards Mini. Rinko's not gonna let him. Second player should be watching. If PR goes for the swing, the moment he hears the steps, he should be a dead man walking. Thinking about it. He's peeked out. Oh, what? The single player turned around. Snappy didn't see him.
Yeah, he walked away as well. The timing here is ridiculous. And PR might have a chance to at least make it a quick 1v1. I don't think they were going to be expecting this. Hard position to clear. He gets one of both. PR, the movement here, won the round for GamerLegion. That is sick.
They're absolutely flabbergasted, by the way. If you ask Snappy what's happened, he wouldn't be able to tell you. This is the most insane timing we've seen in a long time out of PR. The moment he walks out the smoke, Snappy's just turning around. He just turns around in towards lobby, forgets about that possibility. It's just the patience out of PR. The fact that he didn't go out the smoke instantly There's the replay, the molly in towards Brolan. And that's 2 versus 5 that GamerLegion are able to salvage. Look at that triple kill out of Tolson. That's why we were praising him for how solid he can be as an anchor on the CT side. Look at that. That's absolutely atrocious. That's insane.
Yeah, that feels like a sort of sleight of hand situation for Snappy. He's going to be, you know, going back to watch the demo at some point, but that's very frustrating. Shush, though, just like earlier, coming out of the hut. This time it's out of the squeak door, getting the kill. Wrinkle to follow it up. Kaspersky saw an opportunity, but this is just GamerLegion essentially holding no positions on the A-bomb side. What just happened?
I have no clue, but they have all the information. PR is the RAM player. You've seen Dioper and Tolson on the A-bomb side, so you can just make it out the B-bomb side. PR could be RAM side, but you can isolate that pretty easily. Only issue here for the side of NAP is that they don't really have a lot of Veto, right? You've got just one Molotov, and that's going to be on Rinko going in towards the ramp. That's about it.
3 versus 4 here. I mean, GamerLegion, at least 5 rounds. It's not an automatic defeat here on Nuke, but it is very, very annoying. NIP have showed up with a great game plan for the T side. Individually, they've been strong, but tactically, that's where they've really been brilliant. Hard retake coming in for GamerLegion. Doubt they could do much of anything, but they don't have a choice anymore. Tolson goes down. PR in the open and always going to get traded out. So fantastic first half for NIP. 7-5 in their favor, and tactically just on a whole nother level than GamerLegion were here. We'll see how it goes in the second half. It's coming up right after the break.
She said she loves you, but she can't love me.
But I love you.
Yeah. Look, all of my men's going crazy. I gotta break on myself, I amaze me. Like I'm back in the 80s.
I won't play window anymore.
What's going on?
Play your role. 1xBet.
On to the next one.
Well, we're not going to be delaying it much longer. We're head straight into the second half here. GamerLegion versus NIP. Qualification on the line to get the Blast Rotterdam here at the RES Showdown. And this is the map pick of NIP, and we get a really good sense of why that is, Ted. They looked really good on that T side.
No, absolutely. I mean, we talked about the conditioning as well. The fact that Snappy's always been synonymous with the way that he can call on a map like Nuke, and it was probably a little bit disappointing for NIP that they got Train removed out of the map pool as well, right? Because those were the 2 maps on which, on very CT-sided maps, Snappy was able to cook constantly on that T side. NIP, even throughout 2025, was one of the few teams that you could say had very strong identity and character in the way that they approach the T sides of maps like these. And I feel like this is the way to be successful, right? When you look at some of the other teams that are very good on these maps, that are not Vitality, obviously, the best team in the world, but or Fury, let's say. You're looking at, I don't know, Saw that were very good on Nuke. You can probably describe their style very nicely. Legacy, when they were playing a very decent Nuke towards the latter stages of 2025, they were very specific with the way that they take outside control, and they're running through smokes and constantly looking for gaps in the defense. When it comes down to Snappy, it's just the fact that he's going to make you fear that outside presence, and then in the same time, every now and then he's just gonna hit you in towards the A-bomb side, and you're gonna be left with pretty much your head in your hands, wondering what the hell is going on. But the work that Shush has been doing in towards single door, the first half out of Rinko as well on the rifle, pretty damn solid. A bit of a slow one out of Cairn, but when you have Kaspersky and Rinko delivering like that with the rifles, and Shush bringing the goods on top of a 1 versus 2 clutch as well, you can't really say that Cairn has let them down, even if he's not having the best game of his life.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I mean, definitely he also played some of the, some of those yard rolls at the beginning, trying to find, space out there. But Shush he was 0-5 at one point, and then he sort of turned it around into a 7-8 scorelines. That's, talking about work done. You talked about the squeak door and coming out of hut. Like, it was really, really impressive. Hard for them to deal with. We'll see how it goes in the second half. It's coming up right now. NIP now on the CT side, GamerLegion on the T side. Already seeing a fair bit of utility that's being thrown in there. So I don't know. Makes me think that maybe they do want to go for a bit of an A execute here with the Molotov as well. We'll see how it goes for Hypex.
Could be the case. Smoke main, Molly over hut, or could be event drop as well. A fake into event drop. I don't dislike it.
Yeah, well, they're setting up Hypex on the T roof, so he's going to be able to molly the hut out. Let's see where they actually go. You're right, they're suspiciously right in there. You called it. A fake into a vent drop. They're all making their way down. This is insanely successful, but Ken is down here. Lands a headshot, gets a second is Wrinkle, and Snappy's going to take down Torsen. So they got what they wanted, GamerLegion, but then the follow-up just was not there. Snack's fighting on his own, and he's going to go down to Wrinkle. Ah, that's such a shame. That's a great strategy for GamerLegion, but unfortunately the mechanics on NIP were too strong.
I feel like that might have been anti. Those rotations were very quick down the B-bomb side, because you still had 2 players on the A-bomb side, but very quickly they realized what was going on, and you could see that even though Karen was alone for the first fight, the moment that he gets the first kill, there was basically 2 more people, and Kaspersky was able to push in towards the hut very quickly to deal with the player that was in towards the T roof to do the Yuto. It just felt like they had an instant reaction NIP. That's quite the opposite of what GamerLegion were hoping for. Of course, this is their map pick. Talking about the ninjas, so it's not really panic stations for GamerLegion if they lose this nuke. It's just about the fact that it's probably going to fill up NIP with confidence.
Yeah, it is, and I think some of these rounds here, like you said, it feels like the prep work for NIP has been so strong that it's GamerLegion. You can feel that. You can feel it when the enemy just kind of knows what you're doing most of the time. Definitely showed the shadow there, Snappy, so he is aware that someone could be jumping on him. Probably not that much to gain from looking for the fights. Just, call in the reinforcements. Make sure you don't get traded out. Just like GamerLegion did on their own T side. You don't want to be repeating that now that you're in charge. They need to, I'd say, close this map out without too much issue. That is a nice eagle shot. Gotta be careful here, Kaspersky. You know there could be somebody on the roof, and well done. Rez will go down here as well. So they handle business, and they extend the lead even further.
All right. Early doors. Looking good. Anti-eco dealt with. Always interesting as well to see how they're going to combine the roles on the CT side of a map like Nuke. We were kind of having a conversation about Karen slotting in a lot of these star roles, and even Kaspersky letting go of some of the things that he was doing previously on NIP in the Ujerks iteration. This time around, kind of feels like you're seeing another first Snappy as a ramp player.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Well, I guess it does make sense. It allows them to have Wrinkle, you know, more playing that heaven yard position if they want to. Very advanced for Kian up here. Not that it's uncommon, but with Kaspersky also playing on the stairs, it's possible that it can be hard to check. And the problem for GamerLegion is if they don't clear out this position, it's very telegraphed what they're going to be doing from here on out. NIP will know a lot of what's coming, so Rez or somebody has to go and clear out some of these front yard positions. Getting closer now. He's sort of thinking about it, but he's not fully committed to the peak, and Cam will take him down. You could see he was only halfway looking at that corner.
Yeah, and there's no one else in towards outside to get that refrag, so Karen's just got so much information, and Snappy's not even alone on B. Trying to bait them in that he's running back towards control. They're not taking the bait, but Karen should be aware of the possibility of walk. Does he want to peek into it? There's going to be 2 people on the other side. Goes for it, lands a dink, not quite a kill.
Time is running low right now. That's what really has me worried. 30 seconds. Bomb. He's on Hypex and he's low on health, and he's starting to get towards this main position. Snacks creeping on through. PR very nearly dies in the attempt to get up the ladder there. They're flashing their way in, but the low health has really got me worried. Now the bomb is on the ground with 10 seconds, and I don't think Torsa could do anything about it here. Even if he finds the kill on Wrinkle, it doesn't get him any closer to winning the round, and he knows it as well. Wants to escape, and he will just barely get down the vent here. Are they really going to try and chase him down? Nah, not going to be happening. Still, good job for NIP, and unfortunately for GamerLegion, they needed, I think, more time to get that working.
It's just very good reactions. To look at that out of Rinko. He's been excellent so far on Nuke. Interesting thing, we're not even talking about Rinko on the open. We're talking about Rinko on the rifle so far. He hasn't really had the open. He's still on 17 kills. And that's one of the more interesting things about nowadays Counter-Strike as well, right? When you're a capable oper, you need to be good with both the rifle and the op, just because of how limited your options with the big green could be, right? And that's why you see a lot of the opers that are, you know, more of a hybrid type of oper actually having a lot of success, especially if you're talking about numbers. Rinko having a great performance right now. Might as well just stay on the AK until the end of this. Doesn't feel like an upgrade is in place. Doesn't really feel like he needs it. But again, quick reactions. But yeah, as I was saying, for those of you wondering, New Jerks used to be the ramp player, right? And Snappy used to be the outside player before. Now Snappy's moved ramp, and Karen has been shifted in towards outside. So this is another map on which you could clearly see that both Snappy and on some maps Kaspersky, they're giving all the space possible over to Karen.
Well, let's see if it works out. I would trust Snappy in that position. I mean, it's also, I think for a lot of pro players, one of the less desirable positions playing ramp alone.
And now Snappy's back outside and Karen is ramp.
Okay, so maybe it was just for the one aggressive push they want to do in the previous round. Who knows? We
Quite
will
possible.
We'll keep the investigation going.
Yeah, maybe he just had the spawn.
Yeah, that could be true. Yeah, as well. It was a cool round nonetheless. But look at Wrinkle and Kaspersky both on 17 kills, doing an enormous amount of work here. Snappy hiding in the garage. Shots raining through, very nearly catching, but they're just walking the whole way. I mean, they don't have any utility really here on the GamerLegion side, so they kind of have to just try and do this. They can't Molotov out that front position. Kaspersky hiding. I think this could actually secretly be kind of a hard position to clear when you haven't run into a single CT player yet.
No, it could be. Absolutely. And Snappy's not seeing anything outside. Karen should be on a quick rotation, and there's no one to delay him. Casper needs at least one kill, though, but Tossen's got no one to refrag him. And,
yeah,
well, that's a bit of a bummer.
Ooh, so is this. Snappy going down, but at the end of it, 25 seconds, the bomb being planted, and they'll get rid of Kaspersky. That's very important. Can might have been a second late to get the refrag at the very least. They do have kits, and they have a little bit of utility, so if they get down here and they get one good kill, they can probably block off one side with the incendiary and just try and get that defuse in, but they've lost Wrinkle, and now that makes it a lot more difficult. Ken is down here. Makes the drop down to tap the bomb. Oh, he's going to go straight for it, hoping that they just make a mistake, but they're not going to be doing that. Really good work and not even allowing him to get close to it. And they know where Shush is as well. So it is finally another round for GamerLegion on their T side here. It's been a long time coming, and it's almost too late on Nuke anyway, but a good job nonetheless.
Yeah, that was a little bit hilarious for a second, by the way. The possibility of Karen just dropping onto the bomb site and getting the defuse. Of course, they were never going to let him do that, but he did have good timing. This is the one that made you a little bit worried for a second, but it's a good cutoff and towards outside from PR. RES answering back with an MP7. He had a great start to this map. Might have cooled off in the last couple, but has a big one here. GamerLegion still trying to fight their way back. It's not going to be easy on the T side, out of all places. You feel like number one priority should be reset the CT side economy. Good thing you had the opportunity to do so if you win this round. And then we can start having the conversation.
Yeah, I think once the money dwindles for NIP, it certainly becomes a bit of an open game again for GamerLegion.
Yeah.
But let's see. Double setup on the roof. Looks like it's going to be just pure timing here. There's nobody on the hut to get Molotov out. Good flashes nonetheless. Shush up here stands his ground. That's going to be worth it. Kaspersky and Snappy to follow it up, and now Hypex. I mean, they had all the right grenades here, GamerLegion, but I feel like NIP just weren't in position to get caught very much by any of them.
There goes the last one. Hypex also going down, and yeah, it's just the audacity that I like out of Shush, by the way. How many times are you going to see the player playing on top of the silo, on the bomb site, get spotted and not drop? He just fell back a little bit, waited for the flash, went back in. Great flash coming in as well for the peek in towards Singo out of Kaspersky. He's able to get another multi-kill. That's a triple for the Poe. And as much as we wanted to paint the picture of, let's say, I guess the rivalries on this in this specific matchup, you've got PR and RES on one side, you've got obviously Kaspersky and Karen on the other. RES, he had a great start to this map. He's gotten one kill over the course of the last 12 rounds, or 13 now even. You're looking at Kaspersky, it's just been a total domination, 21 and 11.
Yeah. So sick to see. This is, I mean, it's what this NIP team needs for the future.
Yeah.
Confidence in Kaspersky, and we talked about it at the beginning. We said the other side was going to be Ken. Again, not really been the best nuke for him so far with 4 kills, but let's see if we can do a little bit more. Speaking of which, He does get the headshot on the PR. Brings it back into a 4-on-4. They've lost Snappy early on in the round here. Shush. Oh, he's dreaming about it. He's thinking about it. Is it worth it to try and take a step forward and maybe look for the kill here? Kaspersky's baiting out a couple of shots on the other side. Goes into the corner, but he's caught with a grenade in hand. Hypex takes him down, and now they're making the drop down towards the B bomb side instead. 4-on-3, and honestly for NIP, gotta be careful about the money here. If you go for this retake, you could lose everything, and they might anyway.
That's a massive pickup out of Snacks. Kara going down. Shush as well. Renko doesn't miss that shot, but he's gonna have one more player to deal with. I'm not sure if he's heard the steps of Rez. Maybe not. He's walking out. Rez has the angle, has the kill, has the O. And now this is getting a little bit more interesting, Anders. Now you're looking at the money of the side of NIP. You've got Renko on 6.4. I'd like to see him get a hero up. That's exactly what he's gonna go for. But everybody else is gonna be limited to the pistols unless... Oh, they're going all in. I don't mind that too much.
Okay.
It's a good response out of GamerLegion, though. Kaspersky just misjudged the timing of the fate of the smoke, right? He wanted to get inside, maybe replenish, maybe go down the vent. It felt like he was hesitating onto exactly what he wanted to do, and then the smoke fades, and he's just in the middle of nowhere. It was just a bad read of the situation, but it happens to everyone.
Curious to see NIP go this hard on it. Wrinkle. Ooh. I love the attempt, right? If you're not going to have that much utility, try to put some pressure on by being aggressive on the CT side, but let's see how this plays out. He's going to be walking up, scoped in the whole time. Is anyone going to be aware? Hypex certainly thinking about it, but this should be a favorable fight for Wrinkle, and it is. Taking down Hypex. Not a lot of elbow showing there, but he did get the shot, so far so good. What a great way for NIP to assert dominance. If they can kind of force up into this round and make it work, then I think the map is pretty much there. Snacks will take down Snappy, though, so it's not a completely smooth ride so far.
Oh, he's going up the vent. That's a massive move out of Renko, by the way, because now they've seen him as well. He can just go down B, lock it down, and Rez is there with the bomb. Is Rez playing alone? If Rez dies down secret...
Oh,
all right.
He's not going to do that, and PR will take down Kaspersky. All of a sudden, things are looking a bit more interesting. GamerLegion surviving this. It puts them at 11-8. Assuming they can get rid of the last two players in the next 20 seconds or so. Can actually walking forward in this. Oh, he's going to be found anyway. I was going to say maybe an AK or something like that to be stolen would have been nice, but might even be tricky to do that at the moment here. Torsen. It's just the problem is he's worried that he's not going to do quite enough damage through the grating there. So either way, we are going to be seeing an 11-8 scoreline, and that's within reach. GamerLegion could still end up winning this map.
Good. Josh looking for another one onto PR, but he's going to get shut down. And now the financial issues are real. That was a full investment coming out of NMP. And I actually want to commend Renko for this one, because I thought he played it well. Right? You started off with the aggressive peek in towards single door. You're not able to get the kill, but then you move down the vent instantly. You shut down the Oper. Response in towards outside. You show yourself on A, and then you drop down secret again. It's just the 1v1 against Rez that he's not able to win. We couldn't really see it in live time, but GamerLegion were just spread around the map so much that if Rez goes down with the bump in secret, then the round is basically over. So, as much as it looks like a very convincing round, it just came down to one individual fight, but in the grand scheme of things, GamerLegion don't really give a damn about that. They care only about the fact that this is now, as you pointed out, a doable game. It is winnable. You could make it happen.
Yeah, just... that would be such a devastating collapse for NIP. We're talking about, you know, the confidence that they built so far, and they should be confident. Like, the tactics look really good, but if you somehow stumble right at the end, or the game goes on long enough so that GamerLegion find that little bit of extra to be competitive, that's such a sour feeling. They've certainly got the money on the GamerLegion side. NIP could be a struggle for the rest of the map if they're not careful here. I like this as well. There was a stack at the ramp, you know, a USP tower being built back there, but they're being very careful. Or Snacks, less careful, but just as successful, trying to find a fourth kill.
That was good stuff coming out of Snacks. Kaspersky's picked up an AK, and he's doubled up. 23 kills.
That's not as scary as it sounds, although now it might be. The
2v5, boys.
Come on.
2v5. 2 versus 5.
You're up against unarmored opponents. That can't happen.
He's seen him. That's the
He
info.
knows. Getting close here with the 5-7. It's not quite quick enough here for Shush. That would have been so sick. Kaspersky is actually down below, so he's made a bit of a gamble. If they go down the vent now, that would be so sick. But I think, unfortunately, they choose the other bomb side. It is a coin flip from Kaspersky's point of view, but you can absolutely see how insane it would have been if they would have tried to make a run for it in the last second. So I think, unfortunately, in spite of all the theatrics, it's very hard to win this retake now.
You almost want to see him go for the damage as well. I mean, the money on the T side is a little bit low on some of the players, and he's always been fond of a fight. Timing could be against him, and it will be. Res with the peak will be able to claim that final frag of the round. So this is 9 on the board for GamerLegion. A little bit labored, but a round on the board is a round on the board, especially on the T side. As we said, financially, maybe there could have been some issues if they had both gone down, but now they win the round, they're going to be fine. It's not too big of an ordeal. A little bit crazy to imagine how from that triple kill from Stacks it just turns into a 2v2. That's pretty competitive. And you had the opportunity here for the 5-7 as well to get the close range shot against Res.
Yeah. That's almost a monstrous round, but all it really serves as at the end of it is a bit of a scary reminder to GamerLegion to be really, really careful here. They're going to make the full-on comeback, then they can't really let go at any time. Maybe especially against Kaspersky, who is showing up in devastating form at the moment. 23-14. He's quite a bit ahead of everybody else on the server. So, yeah, got to respect him right now. Money for NIP again. Missing the AWP. That's a bit annoying. No defuse kit in play in this round either. So small details here, but they could all add up to a tough game for the NIP squad.
Yeah. Also, Rinko has been looking a little bit more solid on the rifle so far this game, so I don't even see that as a big minus right now. It depends on how they want to play, and this is not the one. Rinko completely oblivious to the opportunity of Res being on top of Mini. They should have known. There's a player inside.
Yeah. Oh, and they lose Snappy as well. Some unfortunate missteps here. I feel like for NIP, they don't need to be losing these players this early on. Shush going forward, and it could have been sick if the timing was there with Ken right away, but unfortunately, I think they missed their timing window by about a second, to be honest. But as a result, it looks really clunky. It looks like they're just dying one by one, and that's exactly what's going to happen at the end of it here. PR goes for the kill, and GamerLegion are back.
It is them going down one by one, right? I wonder, now we have a technical timeout. I wonder if there was a comms to sound TeamSpeak issue or something like this with NIP, because it didn't really feel like Rinko reacted to the fact that Rez has dropped over on top of Mini. And there was a player inside all this time for the side of NIP, so they must have known. Didn't really feel like it, though. A bit of an oops moment later on into a game. That could be detrimental, and now we're seeing GamerLegion get close to regaining control over this map. We kind of had that conversation earlier yesterday. It was the CT side against BC game that landed them 13-7 win on Nuke. Now it could be the T side against NIP. And a Nuke win against NIP, especially when Kaspersky's playing that well and when Rinko's delivering, means a lot. That tells you a lot about GamerLegion right now.
You know what I just realized, Ted, is the worst thing about Nuke? When the fly-through just happened here on, with fly-through we just happened on the parking lot, all the cars are just parked perfectly in the spots. That's enraging to me because that never happens in real life. Like nobody knows how to park anywhere. So
you know what? It does happen here, where I live. You know what's the reason?
Go on.
You get your car trashed if you don't do it.
Okay, that's what we need in Denmark. Then we need the threats of somebody just, driving into your car if you're not careful. Well, oh, man.
Oh, we had the giraffe camera back for Karen.
Nice.
Oh, there it is. He's there. He's back.
It's just peeking into the corner. You can't see how absurd its legs are at the moment. It just looks like a regular
toy giraffe.
But it's not. Don't trust the lies. It's definitely not. Yeah, not sure what the delay is at the moment. A couple of people up and about. Hopefully not for too long. We do want to I want to see the conclusion of this now. It looked to me like in the first half it was over for GamerLegion, but yeah, I don't know. This is kind of scary now.
Yeah, massive weight on this game as well if you're just joining in. The winner of this series, and of course this is map number 1, qualifies for the Blast Open Rotterdam 2026, which is one of the last big events, a $1.1 million event before the VRS cutoff for the Cologne Major. So for teams like NAP and GamerLegion, this might as well be the equivalent of an RMR, MRQ, however you want to call it. Bottom line is, you win here, you have a very good opportunity to put yourselves in a good position for Cologne. You lose, then you'll need a little bit more until the end of this season in the next couple of events.
Yeah, you could be thrown into, you know, to having to play a million online games to try and scrape together the VRS points. And as we've been saying many times, it's not like it's a done deal. It's not like just because you're GamerLegion and NIP, you're going to show up and you're going to destroy a bunch of these tier 2 teams, because some of them are really hard to play, and, you know, and they live in that space. So, you know, we've already seen it with X-Ruby very nearly taking out GamerLegion at the start of the bracket. So 5-7 up close is dangerous. Total goes down at the beginning. This is really scary for GamerLegion.
Hold on. They've been stopped. They've been slowed down, and Shush is just tearing them apart. Rifle picked up. Refract coming in, but there goes the scout of Wrinkle. And this is falling apart on their side. I don't know what's going on, but they're just going down like flies.
Oh man, if we see the Wrinkle kill on replay, I think he actually lined up the shot. I think he took an extra like millisecond to make sure that was a headshot. It felt like he'd already landed and he'd already scoped up, and it was just he wanted to make sure. That is so devastating. But it starts with Shush. The 5.7 is still such a powerful pistol. We say it all the time, but there's nothing PR could do here. It's going to be 12-10. NIP, just when they needed it the most, they pick up a round like this one.
Shush is a menace, an absolute menace. You're looking at the kill count, 15. It's good. It's nowhere near Renko and Kaspersky, but it kind of feels like he's got even more impact in some situations, right? He won that 1 versus 2 in the first half. There was a number of times where he would just walk outdoor or hut and find the timing and get a couple key frags for the round, and now he's just delivering a double kill with a 5-7 out of nowhere. An entirely different question is why Shush being given the opportunity to isolate these fights. I mean, no opportunity of a refrag here. No one's swinging for the refrag here. Just now Snacks is able to do it in Wrinkle. That was a straight up flick from the scout.
It was. Damn, that's so sick. I thought he had like an extra second, but yeah, you're right. That was just a deadly flick to shut it down. 12-10. AKs on the side of GamerLegion. PR, just the normal pressure applied to that squeak position. Wrinkle back in towards the ramp this time, which we'll see if they're going to be ready for if they turn the corner. All they need in IP is one good opening kill here, and they might be able to claim a big W on Nuke.
Yeah, and Karen is back towards outside again. This time Snappy's going to be more of a rotation rifle towards heaven, towards that A-bomb site. Maybe getting ready to help outside as well if need be, but GamerLegion setting up for a potential A exec. Molly top, HUD being lined up, flashes as well. Is this going to be a fake or a full commitment?
Grenades are certainly in. None on Bovov, and they're trying to run through Tosin. He's alone. The rest of the team didn't really get to follow through. Wrinkle catching them as they're falling back through that lobby position. This is devastating. Good flashbang, to be honest, but still, this is completely shut down GamerLegion's push. The bomb is in front of Kaspersky here. I don't know if I love the fact that he's holding the line, but Snappy's going to get the kill. Yeah, I was going to say, with the M4 versus the AK, I'd rather he stayed a little bit further back, but Hypex is alone. 1 versus 3. And NIP, I don't see a way that they're going to be able to screw this one up. This is such a nice play. I love the Wrinkle backstab as they're trying to get onto the A-bomb site. Hypex, he's going to steal the bomb, but 28 seconds here.
And he's just called it out. Karen will seal the deal. It's a team ace out of NIP, and you see the reaction of relief coming out of Karen. Didn't have his best individual map on Nuke, but thankfully he had a whole bunch of teammates that were able to compensate. A great performance out of Kaspersky, a great performance out of Shush, and out of Wrinkle as well. And it's the half buy with the pistols that sets them right back to speed, and the buy round, a clean one to close it out for NIP on Nuke.
Yeah, really, really cool game for NIP. I'm really impressed. There's a lot to... It's one of those demos you could go back and look at and kind of get I think, a good template for how to build some of those yard strategies when Snappy's calling it. That was really impressive. GamerLegion, though, I mean, I think they showed us that they can make a comeback. It wasn't their map pick. I think they're going to be ready for map number 2. I certainly hope so. We'll find out when we come back after the break, so stay tuned.
She said she loves you, but she can't love me.
But I love you.
Yeah. Look, all of my friends going crazy. I got
play window anymore.
What's going on?
Play your role. 1xBet.
On to the next one.
She said she loves you. But she can't love me.
But I love you.
Yeah. Look, all of my men's going crazy. I gotta break on myself, I amaze me. Like I'm back in the 80s.
I won't play window anymore.
What's going on?
Play your role. 1xBet.
Here we go. We're back. The excitement is at an all-time high. We've got NIP winning their own map pick on Nuke, but only barely, in spite of, I would say, great tactical brilliance from Snappy on the T side. It was sick as hell, but GamerLegion started to wake up, and it's good news if you're a GamerLegion fan. There's a lot on the line. We've been saying it, but you're qualifying with a blast to Rotterdam. There's a ton of VRS implications for this. If you want to make the Cologne Major, now is really the time to do it. So I think for both GamerLegion as an org and NIP as an org, it matters a lot to qualifying here today.
No, absolutely. Especially when you look at GamerLegion, the fact that they don't really have any big events coming up. NAP at least are going to be at EPL, right? GamerLegion are not even playing this. So I feel like for GamerLegion more so, it is very important, and especially because of the potential that we were able to see, especially when you think about the way that Nuke slipped away on the back of them, losing an anti-eco to Shush, just killing a bunch of people with a 5-7 and all this chaos going down. So it did feel like GamerLegion were able to come back into this one. And let's not forget, Nuke is not the best map of GamerLegion. They've not had as many repetitions since Snax has arrived, and they've changed coach, a different IGL. So going into Mirage, this is where they feel a lot more comfortable. This is a map that they've played a bunch of times already this year. You've been able to take down some serious names. We were talking about Heroic at Krakow. We were talking about Aurora in a 35 fashion in Bounty, and then a 13-7 over Passion UA. So we know what to expect out of GamerLegion. I feel like the individuals were getting more and more awake as well with time. I don't really feel like there was anyone that was slacking per se in a big way. And then on the other side for NIP, no matter how well let's say Kaspersky was playing, I feel like going into Mirage, if you want to have an opportunity for a 2-0, Karen will have to step it up. We even saw his reaction after the map was over. He seemed a little bit relieved, because I think he knew that he didn't have the best of showings. But going into Mirage, hopefully he's going to be a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, I think that's fair, and it also, I mean, we highlighted this as one of the stories to begin with. We're interested in the Kaspersky, Can, Wrinkle trifecta. Like that's the core of the team, and Wrinkle and Kaspersky are playing very well. But then the question is, you know, what about Ken? And fine if you have one or two maps where things aren't looking good, but at some point, you know, we want the consistency more than anything else. So hopefully that's going to be the case here. I mean, I agree though. I think GamerLegion overall, you know, it was a bit of a confusing start, but they were within striking distance, right? A couple of more rounds going their way, and that's it. They win the map, and then it's a very different conversation. So got to give them some credit.
Absolutely. Mirage starts. Only 2 maps NAP have played on this map so far in 2026, both against Liquid. One of them a 13-8 win over Blast Bounty, the other one an 8-13 loss at Krakow. And that was Liquid with Crimbo as well, so we don't really know what to make of it. CT side start, of course, but this is going to be a straight-up A play coming out of GamerLegion.
Yeah, they've smoked middle and window, so they really wanted to just try and fake out that they might have been going middle, but in fact, it's all going to be towards the A bomb side here. Rez, good opening, but Wrinkle. That is a sick shot to take down Torsen. Yes, the bomb is planted, but that's going to give them momentum. He lands another one. 3 headshots for Wrinkle before he's finally got Ritz off. Snax, he couldn't make it around the corner. It's Shush. A laser beam to cut down Hypex. My God, that is quick.
It's such a sick pistol round out of GamerLegion, by the way, but what can you really do when there's people like Renko hitting shots left, right, and center with the ESP? I mean, he was alone in towards jungle for such a long time. As you said, window, smoked off.
Yeah.
It was another one as well, I believe, Connor top mid, and if you're yeah, it was Con. And if you're NIP, it's so easy to think this is going to be somewhat of a split, or at least there's going to be some presence middle. They tried to push in towards jungle, bring the fight to them, Rinko going absolutely nuclear, and then Shush. This was the real difference maker. If you let Hypix just jump out and run downside Con, this round is over. You're probably not getting it done, especially without a defuse kit.
Yeah, you're right. He was millimeters from disappearing into the middle, and then somehow just lands the kill. That's so sick. They do have the Snacks Galil out. They've got some Deagles, or even one Deagle and a some Tech-9. So this is not without nothing. That's a team flash, I'm pretty sure. Shush staying alive potentially because of it. The bomb's going to be planted once again, but all they've lost is Shush so far. Ken very nearly catching them as they're trying to steal that M4 in the corner, and successfully so as well. But this is looking like a very retakeable bomb site here. 4 versus 3. Tough positions for GamerLegion, although that smoke is kind of interesting. Maybe that will keep them back just a little bit, make them fight towards the connector instead. Kaspersky takes down PR, and Snappy coming through the smoke, and they will take care of it. So pretty good job here for NIP, but I don't know, a dangerous round.
This is such a phenomenal effort out of Shush, and I agree, it is a dangerous round, and you can see the difference in approach as well. Pissed around, you wanted to push jungle this time, you wanted to bring the aggression towards CT. NIP realized that very early, and they just left Snappy all alone. Navigated that retake in towards the jungle position, but this is great out of Shush. And as you pointed out, a bit of a team flash out of GamerLegion, so a little bit scrappy in the way that they wanted to fight for CT. Set up Shush very nicely for the double kill. If he's not able to get both these frags, it's very difficult to imagine they're going to be able to pull off that retake.
My god. Well, the fear is mostly over. We got Deagles, 3 HEs. Let's see what they're going to try and do with those. They're all in the middle, so smoke is up. That kind of allows for them to actually throw the grenades in towards the window.
Nade.
Yeah, I love it. Not going to do as much damage as you would have wanted, but the idea is there, and sometimes that's, you know, that's fun to see as well. Nicely done from Wrinkle. Well aware that there's someone else on the other side. So 3 rounds to start with in favor of NIP. I mean, again, this is not their map pick, so getting off to a good start right here, I think, is actually really important. And it also kind of slows down whatever momentum GamerLegion might have built at the end of the first map, saying, okay, you know, we did lose it, but at least we started playing really well. Now they come into this map, it's a bit slower, not as hot as it could have been.
Also, I want to take back my words about Karen needing a big performance here. He might not, because Kaspersky, Shush, and Rinko are all over them already. Rinko just hunting them down, and it's a little bit wild, but I feel like we've seen so many highlight kills out of Rinko throughout this series so far, and I don't think any of them have been with the AWP. It's just rifles, pistols, every single gun bar the big green, but it doesn't really make that big of a difference at this point. He's just getting it done. Damage coming in. We talked about how important it is to be a good hybrid AWPer nowadays, and that's what we're seeing out of Rinko. Very capable with the rifle.
I think that's a big benefit if you don't have to have the pressure of always picking up the AWP. I mean, in some matchups you will have to, but if you could do this kind of work with a rifle, then I'm all for it. Shush, I don't know if they realize how close Rez is. They will now, but yeah, that was a complete surprise. You can see Kaspersky was not quite ready for someone to swing the corner there. Gotta be careful here, Ken. That's where you want to hit the shot. If he could have got that kill, he would have opened up a very good chance to retake the bomb site. But they gotta be careful as well. Snacks is walking through the underpass, so there's a late flank coming in. They lose Ken, and I think the round is pretty much done for here. That was, I don't know, a bit of a sloppy play for NIP to not realize that the ramp on A was so exposed.
Yeah, I think it was just about the fact that Snacks actually was able to stick in towards top middle for such a long time, right? And they were very occupied with dealing with potential mid presence with some flanks in towards under and top middle, and there was no one coming in there. I mean, Snacks was just playing it passively. He did recognize the fact that NAP could leave the bomb site. Just called on a bit of a weird timing. Rinko will be able to get that exit frag onto PR, but he might be going down to Snacks or somebody else. He's just going to be surrounded by T's in a moment. There's Snacks.
Okay. Find a bit more towards the end. That's going to be a bit annoying. Snappy will get to save the M4. Still decent money on NIP. I think they could drop the M4 over the can and kind of keep things rolling forward. But important round for GamerLegion, obviously. So they're already a map down, and the qualification here is just so important that they need to keep this going, and they need to start to win some rounds here on the T side early on.
Apparently, it's part of the game plan to try and condition them with these A plays, right? They've tried that 3 times now, or even 4 times now with the presence in towards A. Well, 3 times actually, because the eco was just the nades in towards window. But a lot of A execs coming in from the side of GamerLegion, and it's going to be interesting to see how NAP want to react, right? Obviously, Shush has been pretty solid so far, but you can't just rely on him getting a double kill every single time he's executed upon and he's all alone. So, do you want to double down and bet on the fact that GamerLegion are going to have some more flanks in towards middle? Do you want to start it off with Rinko in towards A, where he can peek in towards the ramp or Palace and just show the op so they're not as brave? Apparently it's going to be option 1. Palace it is.
Okay. I don't hate it. See if PR is going to be ready. This is also dangerous. When PR's getting this close for Rinko, it's a one and done. If you miss the shot, you're going to be dead every time. You can't really escape. So, is he up for it? Oh,
so
what a headshot from PR. Swings a little bit wider than you were expecting. Sure, with an important kill in return. Nobody's looking for Snacks. I don't even know why. Ken, big misstep there, allowing Snacks to stay alive in the middle here. Grenade. It's going to land right on top of him. It will take him down. It's about as close a connection as you could possibly get with a nade. Snappy takes down Rez. And PR and Hypex, it's a 2 versus 3. Oh, shush. I don't think that's necessary, but somehow the rest of NIP, they're still clawing their way back in the round here. And remember, for GamerLegion, this is critical. They can't start losing rounds now. They have to put the pressure on. If Hypex can clutch this, it's so important, but made all the more difficult with the nades landing on his face.
46 HP to work with, and a snappy reposition in towards CT could be vital.
Is he going to be
He's
able to
walked
find a
onto the
way?
side. That's such a big move out of Snappy. If he's able to cross in towards beneath Palace, I'm not sure Hypex is clearing that out. There's
Yeah,
no
it
reason
seems
to.
very unlikely, and multiple times. Oh, it doesn't even matter. Kaspersky's going to find him. Good triple for Kaspersky. I mean, good round. I think there was a little bit too much fight in NIP. There were a couple of moments there where they had the advantage, and they still sort of kept individually engaging, but who am I to say? They still win the round, and this is kind of panic stations for GamerLegion. They needed this round.
Yeah, and it's as well with the fact that Snax is able to sneak his way towards connector. Short player missed out on the timing, but Shush again getting his piece of the pie. Able to stay alive for such a long time was a big issue for the teams to deal with, and Casper going huge with a triple. There goes Karen. He's hurt, Snax.
Yeah, he's got a sense. It's a bit dangerous here, but now backup is starting to get there towards the connector, so Incendiary on top now. They definitely know if they didn't already. Snacks. Short lease on life at the moment. I think they're hoping that someone's going to push in.
I like the setup. Ops holding top middle right now, so Karen knows that he's got an isolated 1v1 against the player towards the back of the boxes. It's going to be very difficult to save Snacks' life. He's just tucked in. He needs to try and hide. They've let him go.
Ooh, bit of a spray, but yeah, if nothing else, the only thing I could say right now for GamerLegion is at least it's attracting a lot of attention. Like, there's a lot of players that are looking for Snacks here. Missed flick coming up from Wrinkle, and you're 50 seconds on the clock here. They could go for the B bomb site, but Ken, as long as he's here, the crossfire with Snappy inside, it should be good enough. Wrinkle missing that opportunity. 40 seconds now. They are going to be going for B. The only question is, can they break apart this crossfire right here? Good Molotov on the back towards Snappy. Puts a lot of damage and pressure onto him, and he's going to end up going down. Ken, a little bit open, but stays alive for the minutes. Takes the fight with Hypex. That is such an important kill. He should be going down, but he kind of did his job anyway. And Wrinkle, I think that's the third AWP shot that we've heard him miss. He's not going to get that one onto PR either. So suddenly, they're a man down. The bomb's being planted. Shush Kitty sneaking in time is not quite there, and he's only going to get the one. Leaving Kaspersky, the man of the hour, in a 1 versus 2. And they're going to spot him out early. He doesn't get the shot. Wants to move forward. Takes down PR. And on the other side, Rez is already low on health. He's got to be careful around the corner here. 46 health on him. He's got some time here with the kid in his back pocket, but the question is, where is Rez? He just doesn't know it. It doesn't matter. Kaspersky, he's so lightning fast right now.
He's just so locked in. You can even see the sequence in which he's clearing all the angles. He was even aware of the possibility of them reboosting in towards Ninja. This is how locked in Kaspersky is. And this is the star player that you want. Good performance out of Karen as well in this round. He loses Snappy almost instantly, and he's able to recover and actually get a second kill. Absolutely needed that one. A couple unfortunate misses coming out of Wrinkle as well, and it's absolutely wild that NAP are still able to win these rounds when there's almost always, it feels like, one player that's unable to deliver individually, right? In the previous round, it was Karen. Now it's Wrinkle missing a couple of shots, but they're still winning them.
This is a very scary position to be in. Incendiary going down just as they throw out the grenades. They have to slow down. They can't really push through that. They're going to try anyway. Molotov coming out, but no, they did have to go back. The timing of that Incendiary being thrown in from the ramp is just expert.
Yeah, it's a perfect block coming out of Shush. And they even had the open towards CT as well, right? So even if someone tried to get ahead of the Molly and push through, probably just walking into the line of sight of Renko. And that's a bit of an issue, by the way, because in a round like this, you usually don't have a lot of veto if you're a GamerLegion. They still have a bunch of flashes and 2 smokes, though, so it's not too bad of an ordeal. You can still reset and try and work around this, but issue is, you did leave both B and middle for such a long time, so now you need to be very diligent in the way that you're retaking that part of the map, all of this space. Still looks like an A play. I feel like this is more of a due diligence type of a split, right? Just make sure there's no aggressive CTs, make sure that there still is going to be some presence out of the CTs in towards that B bomb side. No forward pushes, no one spotted in towards the B apps. Failed window smoke is unfortunate.
Yeah, still happens every once in a while. So it
They're
is
still
this
gonna commit
time.
to the boost.
Yeah, they're still going to go for it here. I think Ken should be aware that someone is up, and yeah, every time he comes back to check that position, he's going to be well ready with the crosshair. Going to be taking out Rez as well. So slowly dropping players on the GamerLegion side. Wait a minute. Strafing in with the Tech 9. Hypex, the one to pick up the kill there. 3 versus 3. Snappy smoked off. Can't see a thing. Can't really guess the angle either, it seems. So the bomb is going to be planted. And PR gets one in return as the bomb was being spammed down. Torsen is dropped. But Wrinkle, that follow-up shot is so important. If he would have hit that, I think the round goes straight to NIP. But now it's all up to Snappy to try and clutch it.
At least he's got a little bit of time to work with. 30 seconds. He's got the kit and low HP onto the CT side player. So Hypex could be going down pretty easily.
Yeah, but once he gets that kill, he pretty much has to run. It's not even going to happen. Wow, walk straight into the shot here. So surprising. NIP, I think, could have definitely walked away with a win in this round, but credit to GamerLegion, I suppose, as well, clawing it back.
Yeah. There's a couple individual misses going on for NAP right now, right? I mean, Karen is even able to deliver a double kill this time around, but this time Shush goes down without a frag. The Oper, again, just missing a couple of Veto shots when the pistols were making their way outside of the ramp, so this is definitely going to start weighing down on Renko, even though he's able to get 1 kill. This was the easiest out of the lot. It kind of feels like he can't hit a moving target right now.
Shush waiting, MP9 in hand, they're going to be very fast here. The flashbangs are everywhere, but somehow he still lands the kill. Luckily, they will follow it up. It's a bit of a stack going on, and you could see this underpass push coming. It's 2 people pushing underpass. If they would have stayed alive at the B bomb site for a couple of more seconds there, NIP, then maybe there would have been a sick flank coming in. But nice timing and change of pace for GamerLegion. Sort of warning NIP that we've got a lot more we can do on this T side.
That's one of the things that puts a bit of a smile on your face if you're the IGL, by the way, because Nax just knows that he's called an instant 5-man B-pop into a stacked bomb site, and that was with a double flank under as well, something that he's not necessarily aware of yet, but Snappy's going to catch him on the timing. Might be able to get a double even, low HP on Res, so you got to be careful. And it's just going to be the one for the MP9 of Snappy, but as I was saying, you just go a B pop into a stack and you're able to just go and very easily dispatch of them, lose just 1 player. Is the type of thing that fills you up with confidence. You're just telling yourself, well, guys, even when we go into a stack bomb site, we're still destroying them.
5-3. Couple of signs that something is working out here. The flashes were just devastating on this bomb site. Really, really cool to see. I feel like a lot of the times those flashbang towards B, they're just thrown over the wall, kind of, you know. Yeah, they land at B, but they're not really flashing out like all the corners that you'd want. But nice to see that that tech is being upgraded a little bit, or at least it seemed like it in that round. Snacks all the way at the back, hoping for an opening here. Just the 1 AK on Ken. Gotta be careful though. Could still be dangerous, especially I feel like if somehow Kaspersky could pick it up later on. Not that Ken's been playing badly at all this time, but Kaspersky just seems like he's got the hot hand at the moment. And GamerLegion, they know it. They slowed it down. They're checking for flanks. They're making sure no pushes are happening. Playing a very conservative game right now. I can't really blame them.
That actually gives away a little bit of information, right? Because you see the Opera holding stairs that late into the round, meaning he's probably not going to be alone. That's one of the reasons GamerLegion are doubling down right now. Backing off and making sure there's no aggression elsewhere on the map, because it wouldn't be the most crazy thing ever for NIP to try and push in towards B the moment that they see that op. With supposedly another player. Casper. He hits those. Never mind. Jump across, making it safe.
Right. I was going to say they have the grenades to not have to face those deals. They can just... Alright, they're going to be That's 2 Molotovs and 1 HE towards the ladder room just to make sure that nobody is there, but not going to matter right now. Shush goes down. Deep nade touches him in CT spawn. They've checked out the A bomb site. Ken's going to find the 1 here, but at range, the AK's dropped, and say it already is pretty much the round here for GamerLegion. So very good work. I love the fact that we're seeing them, you know, just pull these rounds back, not really risking too much. They'll take care of Wrinkle as well. PR with 10 kills at the stage, and Hypix landing some good shots.
Yeah, it's very careful, very diligent out of GamerLegion in a round like this. Exactly what you want to see. You set up the AWP to hold in towards the stairs. You have one player holding in towards TV, another one in towards top mid. You're making sure there's no aggressive moves coming out of the CT side. You refrag the rifle 1 for 1. Nice shot coming out of Kaspersky. Nearly set up the USP, by the way. If Rinko had anything different than a USP in that position, he probably would have been able to get at least 1 kill. Is it another A play? They've been targeting that A bomb side quite a lot. Only 1 B play we've seen so far, I think.
Oh, it's a very nice shot. Snappy jumping back in. He just wanted to take a peek. I can't really even blame them for going for the A bomb site, though. I feel like even when they've been, you know, trading players onto A, they always get the bomb plant, and they typically find a way to make it work. So I can't even argue my way out of it. Snacks is sneaking through the middle right now. They've recommitted the smoke. He's going to play inside of the smoke, surely. Kaspersky is looking for it, but Snacks is right there. So a couple of grenades, and all of the mid defense is going to be looking towards the A-bomb site, and Snacks can find a way through. It is what he does very, very well. Ken's here on the stairs, swinging out wide, will get taken down. Again, these trades are just fine, and remember, Snacks is all the time in the smoke in the middle. He's just a couple of steps away from being activated here. As Kaspersky's taking down PR, still got 50 seconds on the clock, and now they're going to be turning their attention towards the CT spawn. Smokes are up, and the bomb's being planted.
Kaspersky's walking out, though. No, it's Shush, actually. He might catch a bit of a timing, and Rest is unaware. Not ready. Tolson in towards Apex. Needs a big play. Second player in towards middle. That's going to be Snacks on low HP. Tolson needs another one, and he's able to get it. Shush, though, a 1v1, similar one to the one in the pistol round. No defuse kit, though. That might be an issue.
Yeah, but he's repositioned. Oh, can he pick anything up on the back there? He knows the Snacks is in front, but I don't think there was a kit maybe on the ground. So, yeah, he can run and get the fight, but trying to get back in time. Nope. I think, no, he's realized it's not going to be happening. I thought maybe there was a kit for him to pick up somewhere, but instead it'll be the AWP and trying to save that into the next round.
It felt like that's what he was looking for, right? It felt like it was calm. There should be a defuse kit somewhere in towards CT and towards the bench, but there wasn't one. There's a replay. Great opening kill out of Hypix, utilizing that spawn to his biggest advantage. Karen trying to get away with one, and Casper again put in some good work alongside Shush in towards A. But as you pointed out, it's just the fact that they've been able to put themselves in winnable positions almost every single time on these A plays GamerLegion. It's not like they're not being close. It's not like they're not planting the bomb. And this one, instantly, again, bomb in towards A. Rest send out middle. It's more of the same, but, I mean, it's working, so you can't really fault them, can you?
Yeah, this way you'd maybe be interested to see if NIP can find a way to change the dynamic here. I mean, we had one round where Wrinkle had the AWP up in the palace, but I don't know if I would count that really a CT aggression. There are other ways to try and do it, you know, pop flash your way onto the A ramp at the right time, maybe some sort of a mid crunch coming out, like you can try and find those timings where you're pushing in from 3 different directions. I feel like GamerLegion are getting a lot of the real estate that they'd want here. Snappy getting a bit close now. MP9, but again, I see GamerLegion are allowed to hang out where they want.
This is not too bad, by the way, out of Renko with the AWP. Him being in towards the B apartments, it actually allows NAP to have that 4-man stack in towards the A bomb side. You've got Shush, who's going to be taking first point of contact from CT, supposedly. Trying to set up Snappy to get 1 kill with the MP9 close range, so this could get a little bit scrappy. Nice resmoke. On 44 seconds. I'm not sure if they can wait it out. They might have to play through with the nade.
Yeah, they feel that way too. You can see the pressure on them. MP9 right in front, but the flashbang is so sick. Oh, Snappy, he could see the multi-kill coming. Ken's going to be going down next. Snacks and PR are a bit low, but it doesn't really matter when they're not getting the kills. 20 seconds now. Kaspersky's activated. Snacks and Hypex are low on health right now, so this could fall apart. 15 seconds on the clock. They're trying to get a bit closer. Wrinkles here, holding the connector. Kaspersky doing all the work on the other side. What a turnaround. Kaspersky quad kill on the FAMAS.
That's a 2 versus 5. This is absolutely mental. Kaspersky's just going nuclear into towards A right now. Anywhere you put him, he's 15-7. It's a miracle that NAP have not won that first half with Kaspersky having such an outstanding performance in Rinko. He was patient enough to shut down that late flank in towards connector, but there's a replay again. Snappy, unfortunate. PR drops Cairn, kill after kill. This A bomb side is working out so well up until Kaspersky arrives. And as the low HP is the follow-up headshot onto the Palace player. Just look at how easy he's making it look.
Just a little bit of the trickle of damage that's coming in, you know, in every fight here. Suddenly making a massive difference. Ooh, Hypex. Oh my god. He's quick on the bomb site. Bomb planted. We didn't even get to talk about anything here. Straight into the action. Snappy will take down Hypex and NIP. I mean, this is not bad, right? It's not that map pick. They're going to end up at 7 rounds in the first half. I think that's pretty impressive. Maybe enough to win the map. We'll find out in the second half after the break.
She said she loves you, but she can't love me.
But I love you.
Yeah. Look, all of my men's going crazy. I gotta break on myself, I amaze me.
I won't play window anymore.
What's going on?
Play your role. 1xBet.
On to the next one.
Here we go. Second half is here. It's the second map as well. If NIP end up winning this map, then they qualify to blast Rotterdam, which certainly will be big news for them. Same for GamerLegion, but they need to win this map, and then they need to push on to a third map to decide the whole thing with. So a bit of pressure right now on GamerLegion. Not a bad first half, I thought, but I don't know. NIP is still struggling and fighting their way back into it. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it really is. 5 multi-kill rounds out of Kaspersky as well, including a 4-piece and a 2v5 in the penultimate round of the first half. A double kill to round it out as well in the last one. He's been an absolute beast all day long. Kieran has been able to have a remotely better performance in comparison to map 1, even though he still has not been able to get a whole bunch of multi-kills, but it was a good performance out of Shush as well. A bunch of missed shots out of Rinko, but all in all, NIP could be satisfied with this first half. GamerLegion, I guess the same. It's a bit of a gentleman's agreement between the two teams. I'd say a bit of a shake of hands at the end of the half. If you're GamerLegion going into the CT side with 5 rounds, you probably feel nice, especially if you win the pistol, but same could be said for NIP. You are in a good position to get a potential 9-5 or even a 10-5 lead, depending on whether GamerLegion want to force if you win that pistol. So this is getting very, very interesting. A quick reminder to everyone at home, this is the grand final here. The RES Showdown 3, a close qualifier for Blast Rotterdam 2026, and this is going to be a big one for either one of these teams. Whoever wins this is putting themselves in a great position for Cologne later on this year. Of course, Blast Open Rotterdam going to take place in both Copenhagen, Denmark, and Rotterdam, which is in the Netherlands, in case you didn't know. $1.1 million prize pool between the 18th and 29th of March. We've already got Furia, Vitality, Parivision, Falcons, Navi, Spirit, Mouse, FaZe, Aurora, Mongols, Liquid, and Bait. And of course, there's a couple other close qualifiers going in different regions, right? We've got the Rising North America, we've got the Rising South America, and we've got the Rising in Asia. Yep. As of right now, 9Z will be playing the Sharks in the final in South America. Asia is Lin Vision Tyloo. And Tyloo's currently 1 map ahead. That game is going on concurrently. NRG is going to be taking Passion UA in the NA qualifier.
Okay. I'm glad that there are some more interesting NA teams out there that are currently playing. It feels like the level is slowly but surely increasing, so hopefully we can keep that up. But in this one, bit of a tech timeout before we get into it. I'm so curious what they're going to try and do here on the T side. NIP, their tactical side on Nuke was sick. If they're just as prepped for this one, it could be some fireworks coming out from Snappy and the crew.
Yeah, I feel like Snappy deserves a whole lot of credit for the work he's been able to do throughout the last 1 year with NIP. You said it yesterday, and I'm willing to agree. He was dealt a bad hand of cards with the Falcons, right? But on NIP, he's been able to build something from nothing. And that something, again, looks very sound tactically. Even in Budapest, even though, you know, the result was probably not what they were hoping for, I feel like we saw glimpses of how good NIP could be tactically and how good their map pool could be. Snappy's been doing a great job of just picking up players and making them world-class players as well. He did it with Kaspersky, picking him up from Ensign. He's been shining with NIP. He's hoping to do the same with Cairn. And he's just making this team make sense alongside Exist, right? So one of the unsung heroes of Counter-Strike, I'd say one of the IGLs that is probably amongst the best in just picking up a couple youngsters, picking up a team from tier 2, maybe even tier 3 at times, and catapulting them into tier 1.
Yeah, he's got a great track record of that for sure, and it's fun. I think it's sometimes, you know, it's hard to see exactly what an IGL is doing, or like the tactical layer of the game is a little bit hidden. But I feel like with Snappy, you can see what the ideas are, even when they don't work out. Makes it really fun to watch the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's always had a clear identity, and his teams always have a clear identity to the Counter-Strike they play, which is always nice to see.
Yeah, there are some IGLs out there like that. Like Stanislaw is another one for me, where like, I always feel like I know what he's doing. Snacks trying to push forward into this. The flashes are everywhere. Kaspersky's close to distance with the Glock. I don't think they realized that Snacks is right there, but this is a fast bomb plant. There is a kit and a smoke on res, and that is a dynamite combination to win any pistol round when the bomb is planted on A. If the T's lose track of this kit and smoke, then it could be all over. And that's, I think, all GamerLegion are thinking about right now. They just want to get a bit closer. PR opens up onto Ken. It's Torsen in the middle. If he wins this fight, and he will, oh my god, they're so close to losing this round now, NIP. I don't care that the bomb is planted. I care about the smoke kit combination. They're already on top of it. Wrinkle, you can see he's up here, but it's already too late. It's just so lethal.
You're just getting out-aimed, right? It's not even about the smoke in the kit. I mean, you just couldn't stop them. Every single one of them winning the fights. Massive round out of Torsen as well, who's able to get a double kill. He had a bit of a slower first half, but the T side flank, or the T spawn flank, gets denied. He gets spotted out by Snappy early on, so he needs to reposition it towards middle, and he's able to find 2 kills. Good work. Nice shooting out of the USPs. This is exactly what GamerLegion wanted at the start of that second half. A nice and clean opportunity to control the tempo. Quick window smoke as well. I think Shush did the good old, I'm gonna buy a scout, line it up, and then sell the scout and buy a glue. It's an instant smoke that doesn't get broken that easily from the HEs as well.
Yeah, they're thinking about what they want to do on the other side here, but this is one of those dangerous rounds where all it takes is a misstep or two and you're in trouble. Guessing, not finding anything. Must have heard the drop down, so I think Snappy knows that there was going to be 2 people on the other side immediately close to the connector. Torsen moving up and not getting caught either. One of those fights that if it goes wrong, it could have cost them quite a bit, but now they're in a good position. GamerLegion smiling their way through the round, as it were.
Yeah, lost Snappy into Worst Connector in the meantime as well, which makes it a little bit difficult. It kind of felt like they wanted to go B still, but there's just not enough options, and there's so many rifles around middle right now. There's no way they're making it past this setup. Or is there?
Well, Wrinkle at least trying to make a case for himself. And to be honest, with 30 seconds left, I mean, the next kill is going to be happening in the next 10 seconds, or they'll be very, very far away from the site. 25 now, trying to get a bit closer. Snacks in the corner, waiting for see if anyone else is going to be coming through. He's already done plenty enough. I mean, the one would be enough to win the round pretty much there, but Snacks doubling up, making it a triple in total. Great trigger discipline coming out from him. And GamerLegion, they are right back on track. So this is going to be a long Mirage. There's no question.
It really will be. I mean, it's a nice idea out of NIP. You wanted to show that presence in towards middle, plant Snappy in towards connector, and let him activate a little bit later on. But he goes down, Snacks with the trigger discipline as well to round it out with a double. And he's been able to find some crucial kill, Snacks, by the way. Individually holding his own. Not looking too bad, the IGL. On to G2, and now back where it all started. His career revival with GamerLegion from a couple of years ago. Of course, a bit of a different GamerLegion, but still the same jersey, still the same logo, still the same snacks, it feels like.
Yeah, he's had a very interesting sort of career of arrival from being almost entirely gone, and obviously because his style was just so specific and he had such a brand for himself, it was always going to be hard to come back and play a different kind of Counter-Strike. Although I think we still see sort of like a glimpse of that, of his old skills of, you know, playing around these smokes and being a tricky player to play up against, which I think is really cool. I still love him whenever he's doing those kind of things. 7-7 turned into an advantage now for GamerLegion. Don't know if there's going to be an easy way back here for NIP. I feel like GamerLegion's confidence is building round for round.
Yeah, might be a third map needed here in this grand final. And of course, for those of you joining in, if it goes to a third map, that would be an Ancient between NIP and GamerLegion. A pretty mid-ground map between those two teams, right? You could say that NIP's favored to win Nuke. You can say that GamerLegion's favored to win Mirage. Ancient is a bit more of a 50-50. That's exactly what you want out of a decider. But before we get there, NIP might still have something to say about it. Karen, full confidence, speaking before the insta-smoke.
That's what you want. I mean, Kaspersky's already playing very well. We said Cam was the other side of this. If he can find 1 or 2 rounds where that is the level that he's going to bring, well, then it could be a different game once again. A bomb site is entirely undefended right now. There is nobody there from the GamerLegion side, so grenades are raining down. It's just an ocean of fire towards that CT spawn position. Shush, flashing around the corner. I feel like that's a fight that you've got to win. PR, though, lands an instant dink and takes him down. Wrinkle repositioning is so lethal, but Torsen was not ready for the elevation. Yeah, that's really important. I don't know if they can easily win this one. They do have the smoke kit on res, but they lose PR, and I would say for GamerLegion, it's better to leave this one alone.
Yeah, you gotta hold on. You still have enough money to go for another reinvestment. Casper's in a good position to try and hunt. He's got 1 HP to work with, and he makes it work for a kill on the spam, of course. Another multi-kill coming out of Kaspersky, and Snappy unable to finish the business onto Hypex, so he should be alright. Should be able to survive and hold on to that 1 rifle, but this is a much-needed round coming out of NAP, and we're finally seeing glimpses of how aggressive and how round opening Karen could be for this game or for this NIP side. Going for that peek, instantly deleting snacks in towards middle before the insta-smoke. PR trying to hold his own. He repositioned out of Wrinkle as well, and that was a good gap that they were able to find in towards the A-bomb side when the CTs were a little bit more laser focused in towards middle.
Oh yeah, that opens up the playbook maybe a bit. Oh, this time it's Wrinkle in the middle. Snacks gets blown open. That's back-to-back rounds where GamerLegion just lose a player almost immediately.
Yeah, and it's such a wild play as well because there is enough money for an op on the other side. And there was enough in the previous round as well, right? Even if in the previous you say, okay, they probably did an upgrade and Hypex was not around, well, this time he is. They don't really care though. They're ready to challenge even if there is an op to start in towards that window position.
Look at Shush position on that A ramp. You gotta wonder if he wants to try and find a bit of a timing. He's heard the drop down. He knows where Hypex is, so maybe it's not worth it. No, he did. He walked through the smoke. I thought he might. Such a tricky player. He could find Hypex for free. That is brilliant work for Shush. Insane game understanding for him to just be able to beat the smoke and try and go for it. Unfortunately, he's going to go down to PR, so his shenanigans come to an end. But still 3-on-3. Snappy. Not even checking CT spawn. That looked dangerous.
Yeah, he thought there was just one player in towards the jungle. Tolson arriving a little bit late to the party, though. And now he's been tagged down. Bomb's probably going to go down. PR is going to get... No flash. Just gonna walk through the smoke.
Oh, runs out of bullets though. Snappy takes him down again with the headshot. And toss him back here, like you said. He's already tagged up low on health. He needs the headshots and he needs to be very quick with it here. Every single missed shot at the moment gonna bring him closer to death. He does have a kit, but not much else to work with. This is such an ungrateful position to be in if you're Torsen, and he will get dropped by Cairn. Health or not, it's NIP. Right back in this game once again, and unfortunately here, GamerLegion, the funds are dropping very quickly. They got to be careful now.
This is such a snappy way to get back into the second half, and I don't mean snappy as in the adjective, I mean as in the IGL. Just swing in middle twice.
Yeah.
That's why you have those people on the team, right? That's why you have people like Kaspersky, like Wrinkle, like Karen. You want people to be able to fearlessly peek middle and just get you multi-kills and opening kills like this. Back-to-back rounds where GamerLegion just started the round without snacks. Instant disadvantage in such an important moment of the game. It's not fun for GamerLegion anymore. NAP have retaken control and Karen is starting to feel like he's a little bit more online. Same for Wrinkle, same for Kaspersky. Shush has been around for, I guess, since the start of Nuke, really. NAP's looking dangerous. Halfbike coming in for GamerLegion. You're going to get to see the scout on PR, MP7 for snacks, and a bunch of 5.7s and a P250 for res. They do have a little bit of utility. So you could potentially delay and block off these T's with smokes, but it just feels like they're just going to disrespect it in towards the A-bomb side. Double pushing towards the apartments. I'm going to give you the information, but can you move those pieces back towards B on time?
Yeah, big question. This should be an easier round for NIP, but it's also one of those rounds where if you somehow screw it up, you saw it happen on Nuke once or twice, then you never know what's going to happen afterwards. Res will go down early. Careful work here from NIP. Don't want to overextend. You can see how most of them are really far back there, just covering the bomb with a lot of grenades, making sure that no one can get through. Fine work. Hypex, potential for a flank, but I think already Ken is aware, yeah, the timing here is just so good. If he had been 5 seconds earlier, maybe he can start some sort of a comeback into the round. But I think any dream of that's pretty much gone here. So NIP looking to take 10 rounds. This T side has suddenly sprung alive, and it started with that pace change towards the middle, the aggressive fights that they were able to win. GamerLegion, a lot of problems here. This is starting to get real concerning.
Yeah, and it's not about the fact that you're losing the round. It's about the fact that you're losing the round without any contest, right? And if you're just walking out, clinical with the shots, utility in, no opportunities for GamerLegion to even try and make it scrappy. Res tried to get his hands dirty, pushing through the smoke into a triple, but he just gets instantly shut down out of the Palace player. And we're not going to be surprised if we see the tactical timeout. There it goes. Second one out of GamerLegion. This is starting to feel a little bit like it's out of control now. And NIP is just 3 rounds away from closing out the series, qualifying for Blast and knocking GamerLegion out. And as we said, NIP is the team that's playing EPL as well. They've got opportunities to make it into Cologne without having to necessarily play Blast. Obviously, that's going to help them put themselves in a very solid position for the major. For GamerLegion, it could get a little bit scrappy if they don't make it. It is a very important tournament. Both these teams play Krakow. Both these teams play Blast. But GamerLegion is in a little bit more need. Now, they're still number 18 on the VRS, so we're not saying it's going to be a massive hit, but it definitely will help them feel a little bit more secure that they are playing the first major of 2026 if they are to win this game.
Yeah, I really think it makes a big difference here. Those new smokes are so ridiculous, but I do love them. Right up my alley. Incendiary. No one's there.
Tolson's alone. Hypix is starting to slowly move backwards. Tolson, gotta be careful. Break up the smoke. Not spotted yet. Just get pre-fired. They seem to be aware of the possibility.
They really do.
If they will hard clear him.
They really want to, but if the Molotov had been a little bit more shallow, it would have at least touched him, and then they would have been 100% sure that he would have been there. Oh, he goes down, and they clear snacks in the middle. It's one more round here, Ted, where it's just GamerLegion unable to find the entries. I mean, it's not to say that NIP are just lucky here. They're doing great work, but it is so scary when you can't get any opening kills on the CT side. Finally, PR takes down Kaspersky. Could be a lifeline for them.
Does that mean they're going back here, or does that mean they're just slowing down B and they were hoping Kaspersky cuts off some rotations, though? This is the big question. PR will get to find out the answer soon enough, but Rest is so deep in towards T-spawn, he can't really stop them.
Guesswork here from PR. Dangerous as well when you're shooting through with the AK like this, and this is exactly the reason why. He goes down. Res, swing, and a kill onto Wrinkle, but the bomb is planted at the same time. And now, because of Shush already rotating through B, right, he's on this very long flank, the afterplant positions are very hard to deal with here for GamerLegion. It's one of those rounds where... Yeah, it should be, right? If you have the smoke kit combination, maybe you try and go for it, but they've lost the AWP as well. This is devastating news. NIP so close to qualifying for Blast Rotterdam now.
Yeah, look at the money as well. GamerLegion left with barely anything to work with. They know exactly where Rez is. Shush is going to be on the hunt. He's not losing anything if he goes down. They still have plenty of money on the T side, but if you get that M4 out of the hands of Rez, this is even worse news for the side of GamerLegion. Res able to win the first fight. Smoke might provide a little bit of cover. Looking for the elevated angle, and Res is able to hold on to his life. This is a good sequence out of the M4. At least you have a rifle going forward. It is still a very tough call to be made. If there was the time to go for your final tactical timeout, it probably would have been out if you're GamerLegion. Do you want to half buy around that M4? Do you want to go all in and try and stop NAP from getting up to 12? So many questions right now. So few answers. What's the call? It is the half buy. They're letting them get up to 12. Unless...
This is, again, very scary. Kaspersky
he'll clear him.
Sneaking down. Yeah, Rez is dead automatically. And there was a player on the other side ready to pounce as well. Smoke up in the window one more time. Oh, jumping into it. This is desperate times. GamerLegion know they need a miracle. They're just not getting it right now. Last player is Torsten in the middle. His position already discovered. They're coming for him. No matter what, he was never going to make it out of there. Kaspersky with one more triple. He's up to 22 again, Ted. It's absurd to be watching.
I think that's like 7 multi-kills or 8 multi-kills out of Kaspersky we've seen so far in Mirage. He's just a difference maker himself. And I know this is an anti-eco round, but it's such a key frag onto Rez as well. They're just so diligent. They know there's one M4 that was saved up, so they're expecting a tricky play to come out of Rez. They just read into it so well. Smokes, not allowing his teammates to support him whatsoever. NIP, 4 map match in series points, 4 qualification points for Blast. And this is the first one.
Wrinkle very close it looked like, but all he gets is a grenade for his troubles. And he's pushed back a little bit. GamerLegion, can we just have a round here where they find an entrance? Just a casual 4-on-5. There we go. Nades in the middle. That's how it's done. It's not really a straight up fight, but I don't care. It gets the job done.
This is how you take care of Kaspersky right now. It doesn't really feel like you can take him out in a fair fight. Just nade him. It's a good start. A-play coming in. Another block in towards the ramp. Courtesy of Hypex's smoke. That was going to allow him to jump spot in towards connector. Not able to see anything. PR is going to be playing up close and personal to that smoke. Question is, what happens if NAP decides to just break it open and go through?
They do it themselves. It's a real struggle of a fight here, and eventually he'll get traded, but he'll get one, and waiting on the other side. It's the AWP Hypex.
Nice.
Easy couple of shots from here. That's what we're talking about. It's now or never for GamerLegion. They need overtime to try and continue the battle.
That's a good start, though. You survive in towards the B-bomb side against the aggressive peak of Rinko. You deal with Kaspersky in towards under, and he's been a massive problem so far. PR with another good frag in towards the ramp as well, being proactive even though you were in a 5 versus 3. I like the initiative that GamerLegion are trying to take towards the middle stages of the round, even when they have the advantage already. They're not just backing off, playing passive, scared Counter-Strike. They're still trying to make NIP uncomfortable in the mid-round. And it's kind of flown under the radar, but PR's been having a great map as well, right? He's 22 and 15. It's just the fact that Kaspersky's kills, and it's the exact same scoreline, they've been so vital and so key that we've kind of forgotten about PR, but he's actually playing a great game. Same for Hypex, who's on 20 kills as well. 14 deaths already over. Just feel like you need a little bit more out of some of the other pieces on GamerLegion, though, but this is a good starting point.
No, you're right to highlight it, and he was one of those players we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast. Hypex, we know that he could do the job. He's proving it right now. 20 kills. PR doubling up on this one. Snacks to join into the fun. Wrinkle and Snappy, a real clear attempt here for NIP to change the pace, try and go hard and fast to the A-bomb site, and see if they could just overwhelm and win this round. But that is not what is in store for them right now. They're going to go into the next round with a little bit of cash on Wrinkle and Can, but they got to be careful about the rest here. So, tricky position for NIP. Good hold for GamerLegion.
Yeah, that's Peter in towards middle. Netted them some opening kills at the start of the half. Not anymore. Rinko's still with the ult, still kicking. Torsten's out of the equation. And that probably gives it away that the ult is in towards the B-bomb side, right? Because this is your B player right here. Rinko, are you ready for another player? Answers no. Free kill for Snacks. And you catch him trying to go under, so that should give it away. Hypex locked in. Should have that kill onto Snappy.
No issue. Just a calm before the storm moment there. Hypex gets his. PR with a double. He's up to 24. My god, he's even up fragging Kaspersky at this point in time. NIP. They've got 2 more chances here. Money's already in a bit of a weird state, so...
Man.
What's the call?
Having PR as your A anchor on Mirage is such a cheat code. Maybe a lot of people are just looking at it and scratching their heads. They're like, Snax is playing connector and PR is playing the anchor spot? But you can see why. I mean, Snax has been very active in towards that position. That's what you want to be. You want to be a little bit of a trickster. You want to be throwing in some unorthodox plays. And with PR, you just put him in that spot where he's going to be very proactive as the A anchor. He's going to be delivering multi-kills time and time again with that sharp aim of his. In GamerLegion, they've made NIP think. And more so, they made him struggle financially. How by with 2 hero rifles, these are going to be in Kaspersky and Shush's hands. Tech 9s for everybody else, a decent amount of Veto as well. Smoke coming in. This time it's the normal insta.
Yeah, just the old school way of doing it, but it works nonetheless. Make sure that Hypex has got no immediate information about what's going on in the middle. Looks like it's going to be another A execute. I mean, I think GamerLegion themselves, when they were on the T side, kind of proved how efficient these A executes can be. You just need one good opening, and you're pretty much clear to get the bomb plant. So let's see if they're going to be able to. 3 smokes have already rained down. It's double towards jungle. It's 1 to CT spawn. Flash is going over as well. It's really efficient so far, but PR's cheated his way in front of it. Surely he could see the gun barrel. Yeah, I think he realizes now, but it's not good enough. Shush will take him down. Snax with 1 in return, and Ken in the middle hoping for a rotation. He wants 1 mistake here, as the bomb is out in the open. No one's planted it.
They need to pick it up, but it's so difficult. There's a player in towards short. There's 1 more in towards the stairs. That's going to be Snax, so they need a bunch of kills now.
A lot of respect for GamerLegion for not over-rotating. If they run on here and die too quick in the middle or anywhere else, it could be a bit of an issue. Shush ends up going down, and now it's unfolding, it's unraveling. This is down, I think, to GamerLegion, recognizing that there was no bomb plant and not moving an inch before they had to. That's really impressive.
It's also the fact that the bomb just gets dropped right in front of him, right? It's literally right next to triple, and there was no one up close to be able to pick it up before the smokes faded. It kind of felt like NAP thought after this kill, there was going to be more aggression out of the CT side. Good work coming out of Snax as well. It's a very vital triple kill out of the in-game leader. 12-11. You had 4 opportunities. This is the last one.
More window smokes. PR. 1 good performance here. It's Hypex, actually. Oh my god, they've been slaughtered again. It's a very similar approach for NIP. They have some sense that they can get through on this ramp, and they're just not being allowed to right now. So overtime looking very likely. Snappy, he will get the headshot on the Snax. And Shush is alive. So the Danish duo, how much time can they find here? I mean, in theory, they could rotate back to the B bomb side. Shush could probably get there a little bit before everyone else. So there is a way out of this one.
Yo, there absolutely is. And I mean, with how quick the play was initially, they still have plenty of time to work with. And you can see GamerLegion not rotating away yet. Hypex is going to be the first one to do so. He needs to be careful, though. They don't really know where Shush was, right? So as far as Hypex is concerned, Shush could be anywhere on the B bomb side. He's still going to hold for the cross regardless. This is going to be massive. 1 shot should be enough to seal the deal.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Step in and run in across. Now it gets a bit more interesting. Bomb being planted for short, which is where Shush is backing up. He's quite sure no one's behind him. Oh, Snappy. That's a bit of a mistake, potentially. Leaves Shush alone. The smoke is up. I almost wonder if that might help him a little bit, just to have somewhere to hide. But doesn't matter. No hiding from that headshot of Res. That means overtime is going to be in effect. GamerLegion, I thought they were done for. I thought it was over with, but got to give them some credit on this one. That's a lot of fight to get back into the game.
Yeah, and it's such a massive comeback as well. Multiple individuals going huge. It wasn't only PR in towards the A-bomb side, but Hypex with that triple, Snax with the triple in the previous one. And there's some nice shots coming out of the Oper. Again, that ramp aggression. Something that NAP have been struggling to deal with, right? PR up close and personal with different types of support. Flashes coming in from CT. Another rifle fighting for triple. This time you have the Oper from stairs. You could say it's the same play, but it's different variations of the same play coming out of GamerLegion with that ramp push out of PR. Every single time it feels like it's been working out. needed a little bit of time to get active on that CT side, but they do it when it matters the most.
Such a clutch turnaround for GamerLegion. I don't know. If not for PR and Hypex towards the end as well, this was going to be over with. There was definitely a weakness that I think NIP were looking for on that A ramp, and you can always look back and say, well, you know, hindsight and all that, they should have tried something else. I feel like there were like 2 or 3 rounds where they basically fell in a very, very similar fashion. But at the same time, like even one of those rounds, if they could find a way to kill, you know, PR in that position, then maybe that's the opening that they needed. I think the one round where they didn't get the bomb plant but they had the bomb site, that might have been one of their best opportunities towards the end of the game. Yeah. Hypex at 25, PR at 25. I mean, that's so much output.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a relief to see Hypex have these types of games in important moments as well for GamerLegion, right? For not such a short period of time, the lack thereof of a very skilled opener for GamerLegion was an issue, right? They obviously had that entire experiment with Kersey after the things with Slend went south, even though he looked like a very exciting prospect. And they got Hypex, who had a bunch of very difficult events to begin with on GamerLegion. Individually, felt like he was not really cut for it in the first, let's say, 1 or 2 months, but at least the start of this year has been a little bit better. He had a good performance in Krakow, even though they couldn't make it out of stage 1. He was still probably their best player. He was alright in Blast. I wouldn't say it was mental, but it was just one series that they ended up losing, so you can't really put too much stock into that. And so far in this event, he's not been outstanding, but he did step it up when it mattered most, which was in the last couple of rounds and on this map in particular. Also had a great performance in the online stage of Blast, a 122 to kick off the year. So I feel like he's been finding his comfort zone. I mean, when you look at the first 5 events he had for GamerLegion, it was 098, 094, 083, 091, 1.03. That was up until the major. That's all the events he played for them in 2025. Now, as 2026 starts, and the worst event he's played was a CCT, where they just lost 1 series, right? So, all in all, I feel like we're seeing Hypex evolve, develop.
Yeah, I think so. And it's definitely not easy, you know, being the opener in these kind of positions. But as long as there's progress, and I think there is too, just even on the, you know, for the few games that I get to watch, I feel like that's the case. So I'm not looking for any kind of a Hypex replacement at the moment, in my opinion. I think he's doing a good enough job to justify keeping him on the team for a while longer. Overtime is in effect, and we're going to be seeing GamerLegion for the first half of it on this CT side, of course. Rez, thinking about it, gotta be careful. There is a player in middle in front of you. Kaspersky sneaking through. It's a very cool idea for Kaspersky, but Hypex once again, we're praising him, and he's landing that opening kill.
Yeah, I think Kaspersky's done that a couple times now, so you just put the Oper there, and you could see how ready Hypex was for that type of a walk in towards middle. Kaspersky was able to catch Snacks off guard a couple of times with that type of a play, but now is the Oper's domain. Now doors closed in towards A and towards mid as well. A replenish of that connector smoke coming out of Snappy, but they gotta go beat. They gotta beat the smoke. Are they playing behind it? I was just killing the timing right now. You have 1 minute on the clock. You still have a little bit of utility, but backing off from B might not be the play. You're probably just waiting for the smoke and you're thinking about recommitting.
If they find the timing right now, then Towson is alone. Rez, yes, he could turn around, but it might not be in time here. I feel like they found a bit of a window. Let's see if it's going to be good enough. Shush. Setting up for the early Molotov. Going to be bouncing off the corner there. Trying to hope for it all, but it's already a bit too late. Now Rez is there. They've been slowed down. I think there's one opportunity. They have 1 second to get out of the window clean and go for the fight, and they missed that opportunity. So now it's just a complete slaughter. That's a shame. I thought they were onto something in IP, but they weren't quite cooking.
That's a great pickup out of Rez. It's just the first kill that makes the difference, right? It's the first player that's trying to run, sprint all the way past these guys. They didn't want to do anything. They didn't want to have anything with that fight. If the first guy drops in towards Van, and then you can go for the high-low onto the double peek in towards short, then it's completely doable. This is the kill I'm talking about. If Shush is able to make it, then it's a completely different situation. Rez is just so solid, though. And that's, what, 5 rounds in a row now on the CT side for GamerLegion. This is far from comfortable for NIP now. It was your game. It was your opportunity, your event to qualify for.
Oh, yeah. It's all been thrown into doubt now. And I think they could feel it too. Down the middle we go again. Trying to replicate some of the magic from earlier where they had those great entries in the middle, but it's kind of worked out against them. It seems like Snacks and Hypex in the middle they're getting a little bit more wise to some of the tricks, and now it's backfiring instead. Losing the opening battle. Wrinkle scoped up. I think that's been heard from Rez, who's right on the other side of the wall, so I think they realized that the AWP is in there. Nice Molotov to clear out the catwalk, you know, give you a little bit of room to work with, but time has dropped below a minute.
Missed opportunity onto PR from Renko. Window boost coming up. There's Snacks on the other side. Important kill coming up. That's a big find out of Karen.
Yes, it is. Cracks open the defense. Oh, if he wins the fight as well. It's real close. Hypex disengaging. Does not walk into the HE, and smoke is up here if we can. That's going to stop a rotation or at least slow it down. But they're not out of the woods yet here. They still need to actually get on the bomb side, and they need to win another fight. Shush goes down. Expert play from Rez, and Hypex has just kept himself alive long enough that it's a bit of a problem. They finally get rid of him, but it's going to cost them, Ken. Towson pushed through the smoke over at the market, and a 2v3. PR, they know that he would have been here somewhere, and they still can't stop him. Wrinkle, if you're going to show some real magic with the AWP, now would be the time for it around the corner, but he's already in some trouble. Gets the first one, flick through. Did he actually hit that? I'm not, no, he didn't. Towson's still on 100 health, so he's going to be back there defusing, and Wrinkle, he wants to get closer, but he's already run out of time. Great headshot, but not enough to stop the bomb defuse. I mean, it's really good work. It's just not enough.
Yeah, it's a good sequence, but you need a little bit of help, right? Especially with the default plan. If you're able to win the fight onto the ramp player, if you're snappy, then maybe there's an opportunity. Bunch of kills found, but still rounds on the board. And again, breaking the smoke, anticipating Kaspersky right in front of Connector. This is what he's been doing for such a long time. And they finally found a way to punish him. There's the kill we were talking about. Another important one out of PR with 13 HP left. And realistically, nothing Rinko could have done about this. 14-12 now. It just feels like NIP have lost control of this map in such a vigorous way. In such a massive way. This is...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. This is 6 consecutive on the CT side for GamerLegion. At this point, NAP just need one, right? Their CT side look good, but you need at least one round here on the T side if you want to stay competitive. Otherwise, GamerLegion would just be taking us to an ancient.
I mean, that's got to be the takeaway as well for NIP, right? Just sure, it's annoying. It sucks that you're on this bit of a spiral here, but find one round, and then it's immediately competitive again. There's more to be battled for. Hard to do in practice, though. Hypex in the middle. Smoke is not going to be landing on here. It'll be a Molotov instead, thrown from top mid. So that is another way to do it for sure. We'll do a little bit of damage to him. PR surely going to be automatically dead here. Yeah, shush. Scary when he starts missing those shots. That should be a free kill more or less every time.
Yeah, he's even down to 29 HP, by the way. PR is so much in the zone that even when he's walking into the most disadvantageous fight, he's still able to do damage. It's absolutely wild, but it's a good start. Kaspersky as well, finally deciding not to go for that first timing in towards Connector, giving them a little bit of time, not giving his life away early on. Now they can play a more methodical type of round. Wrinkle's ready for this. Timing of the jump nearly cost him, but he's still able to get that kill onto Tolson.
Finally, something that's working out for NIP. And in fact, it's not even NIP, you know, doing the kills or finding whatever. It's actually GamerLegion pushing in right on the A ramp towards the B hallway. It's GamerLegion, I think, trying to change the defense, and NIP just being ready. Hold the phone. Wait. The double AWP. Snacks and Hypex finding a kill each, and that makes it very awkward.
Oh my
Snacks
goodness.
will take down Shush. It's crumbling in the hands of NIP. They thought they had this one in the back for sure, but it's anything but here. Ken can't push through the hole in the wall. He knows that's too risky. He wants to put some pressure on Wrinkle, waiting for a peek. We're down to 25 seconds. The bomb is being brought back out here, but Shadow showing a free kill, and he can't make it out. So quick on the trigger as Rez. 17 seconds here. He's going to get pushed no matter what now. Grenade on the one side, and already towards the jungle. Hypex is waiting for him, so he's in a lot of trouble. Wants to take the fight, but Rez is deadly accurate, and GamerLegion continue their reign of terror here. They've really woken up on this map.
What a round coming out of Snacks. It just feels like we're back a couple years ago. That was the type of a big apple round. I want to see the second shot coming out of Snacks. That was a must-win round for NIP. I feel like this one round is the embodiment of how much they've lost control of this game. Look at that from Snacks. Wasn't even
Sick
a double
wallbang.
zoom.
Yeah,
just
just
decided to
getting
go
the
for
job
it.
done.
Yeah.
Even towards the end there, right? Rez, his understanding that he has to play so passively by the ticket booth is just so annoying, right? When you're the sole T player, you wish you could get the fight. GamerLegion, if they can't win it now, if it goes to double OT, then then maybe they deserve to lose this qualifier, because this is such a great advantage.
It should be unlosable. You've won 7 in a row. You were down and out. You were absolutely done for. This game should have been over such a long time ago, but GamerLegion are still in this. Now they just need one more round. T-side Counter-Strike. Spotting the op early on is not a bad piece of intel to have. We know exactly where Renko is, and he will go for more. Snacks punishes.
Snacks has been winning a lot of great fights in the middle all of a sudden. More significantly on the CT side, but I mean, this is the kind of opening that you're looking for. Kaspersky getting dropped a bit low. Oh, actually can. Hanging around the jungle. He's just able to finish off Rez before they finally take him down. Shush. Push back here. Yeah, he's finding this great gap, although Torsten is aware. That's some really intelligent counter-strike from Torsten. He's not trusting in anything, and he turns around to take care of Snappy. This is exactly what they were looking for. GamerLegion, I'm really impressed. I thought they had lost it on this one. NIP, at one point in that second half, looked like they'd taken over the middle of the map on the T side. But GamerLegion were able to stand strong, and Kaspersky, unfortunately here, he doesn't really have the health and no teammates alive. There's just nothing he could do to get back onto the site in a reasonable way. You could see him stepping all over the place. He's not trying to stay hidden. He's just trying to look for a fight, and GamerLegion are not letting him. They're so hidden in their sick recovery from GamerLegion, pushing it onto the third map. You can see the excitement.
Yeah, you can see what it means to them. Torsten knows that they've just brought in a game that should have been done such a long time ago, but they are able to come right back into it. GamerLegion taking us to the third map, and if you're NAP, mentally resetting after having a 12-8 lead and dropping all the rounds until the end, not winning a single one. That was 8 consecutive rounds out of the side of GamerLegion Anders. This is very, very impressive, and it could be difficult for NAP going into that third and final map, but they still need to try and figure out a way to reset.
Well, it's in the nature of the qualifier, isn't it, that we're trying to find the best team possible, and now they're really being put to the test, and I really appreciate that. One of these two teams will make it, the other one will not. We'll find out who that is on the final map after the break. Stay tuned.
She said she loves you, but she can't love me.
But I love you.
Yeah. Look, all of my men's going crazy. I gotta break on myself, I amaze me. Joke like I'm back in the 80s.
I won't play window anymore.
What's going on?
Play your role. 1xBet.
On to the next one.
She said she loves you, but she can't love me.
But I love you.
Yeah. Look, all of my friends going crazy. I gotta break on myself, I amaze me. Got phase me. I'm still dope like I'm back in the 80s.
I won't play window anymore.
What's going on?
Play your role. 1xBet.
On to the next one.
They said it couldn't be done, but we found a way to a third map. It's on Ancient here to qualify for Blast Rotterdam. It's either NIP or GamerLegion, and honestly, given that last map, I'm not even sure which it was. I thought NIP had won it for sure, but GamerLegion, that's a really impressive comeback.
No, absolutely. Being down 8-12, it kind of felt like they were beaten down. Kaspersky every single time was just running down middle, punishing people. They were peeking before the insta-smokes when there was a nope on the other side of the server, and they were just getting multi-kills and openers onto snags. But then something clicked, Anders, and GamerLegion were able to bring it back. And this is the resilience that we want to see out of GamerLegion. This is a very good sign, especially against a team like NAP. And for the side of the Ninjas, it just felt like they needed a very, very long time to kind of adapt, slow things down, make some of the rounds more competitive. And even when they did, it was still not good enough. But this is what makes it even better, right? Now we have one final map. GamerLegion definitely mentally should be feeling a little bit more hyped up in comparison to NIP. How do you pick yourselves back up if you're NIP?
Well, I mean, this is hopefully where, you know, this is where you want, like, I think the coaching staff and the leadership of the team to have an impact on it. Like, this is where, you know, and also just having the experience. I think Snappy is one of those leaders that he's been through so much worse than this that, you know, in some sense, you just say, okay, it's another day. We've been here before. We've had a lot to prove. Hopefully they could do that. But for sure, I mean, it's tricky, right? You're up against PR, who looked unstoppable. Hypex was hitting really great shots. Snacks was starting to come alive. It's a really dangerous thing. And even, I think Rez had less fun on Mirage in GM, but whenever he's put into a fight, mechanically, you could tell he's so hard to stop. So, I don't know. It actually feels to me like more and more of the GamerLegion squad is being put into play, and that is a bit scary, you know. Somebody has to join up with Kaspersky at the moment on the NIP side. He needs some help.
Yeah, and moving into a map like Ancient, obviously we don't really know who's starting on which side yet, but Karen has to be one of these people, right? Rinko already had a good map on map 1, Mirage probably not as impactful, but still had a couple moments. Karen was slowly picking himself up, but Ancient is one of these maps on which we had the conversation even yesterday. He is taking Kaspersky's position, right? He's now the mid player. Kaspersky's been moved in towards Cave. Snappy moves from Cave into the B-bomb side. So this is one of the maps on which actually a lot has changed for the side of NIP in terms of who's playing where. And if you're looking at Karen, this is why he was brought into the team. He was brought into the team so that Kaspersky is not the only man that could be the big star on the rifle when Shush and Snappy couldn't have an extraordinary performance considering their roles, right? And when Rinko's not really feeling it as much. On the other side, Hypix has been excellent. We've seen a lot of good stuff even out of the IGO of Snacks in towards middle on Mirage. PR and Rez having their moments. It's just looking very good for GamerLegion right now. And potentially winning the knife. They will get to choose which side to start on, which could be a big difference maker, especially with how much NIP were struggling on the T side of Mirage. If they get put on the offense again, which is highly likely to happen, this could be a little bit similar to the feeling of being hit by a bus.
I'm looking forward to finding out here. I want to see if NIP can rediscover some of the earlier tactical stuff that we saw on Nuke. I mean, Nuke is, I think, uniquely a very, very, you know, deep tactical map, but you can do some really fun stuff on this one. It's just a lot more compressed, obviously, on Ancient is one of the issues. Like the margin, I think, for error on Ancient is very, very low because, you know, if you miss, you know, timing the middle attack by a couple of seconds or whatever, it's going to go horribly wrong. But we'll find out once we get into it. Looks like NIP will be starting on the T side. So GamerLegion, let's see what they can bring as well. Yeah, I love Ancient though. I think it's a great map.
Yeah, it kind of feels like I've been liking that idea of Ancient being the new Mirage in a way, even though Mirage is still in the pool. But Ancient is kind of like that secondary, very balanced punky map that a lot of people now have a very good understanding on how to play, right? So it oftentimes comes down to, as you pointed out, very small timing, the individual play on both the teams, and it is the middle ground between these two in particular. That's why we were so excited about it. As we said, there was some favoritism depending on the map on the first two maps, but now you're moving into one that is pretty good for both the teams, even though GamerLegion have played it just 3 times in the last couple of months and just twice since the start of this year, and one of them was with ZTR. So interestingly enough, the first Ancient that GamerLegion played with that 5-man lineup was in this tournament. It was against X-Ruby, and it was that game that they won 13-3 that me and you covered. It was the 10-2 CT side, the domination coming out of RES, coming out of people like Snacks, like PR, like Tolson. Everyone was on. NIP, much better. They played it 3 times so far this year. Lost it 13-16 to Liquid, that was in Blast. But so far in this event, they played it twice, and it was both 13-6 wins over the Gentle Maids and Mix.
Well, look at the buy here. The smoke kit combination, I think, is, in case it's an A attack, they can try and go for the retake, but they got 4 people on the B bomb side, and they are going to be moving forward. I do kind of love this, Snacks. Got to be careful now. There are a lot of clocks on the other side. He's traded out, but the USP's trying to recover and resolve the situation. Oh, they're bumping into each other. That's very unfortunate here, and now they've been slowed down. They know that Hypex must be in here somewhere. They saw both players, I'm pretty sure. This is a very scary moment in time. The bomb not being planted just yet because they're looking for the kills instead. Yeah, and they know that he's in here, so all they have to do is wait, and they should be fine. It's Kaspersky executing Hypex at the start, and NIP off to a very nice beginning on Ancient.
Yeah, we were talking about Rinko, the impact that maybe he hasn't really been able to bring forward with Dio, but he has been compensating for tenfold with the rifles, the pistols. It's a big triple kill out of him to put him on the right note. And especially for NIP, with how much you were struggling on Mirage, getting that pissed around victory here on the T side, getting to dictate the tempo at the beginning, this is definitely going to make a bit of a difference. A bit unfortunate for GamerLegion with the way that they were just bumping into each other, trying to react to losing the first couple of fights in towards the ramp as well. Not enough damage, I'm afraid, for them to justify going for an investment, so this is just going to be a full-on eco A stack.
I do love the theory behind stacking a bomb site and then using that stack to push on out. It's something that I always associate with the old Heroic lineup with Cadian and all the rest of them. Like, they would do this stuff a lot where, you know, they'd gamble a bomb site, but then instead of just waiting around, they would go forward. I think it's a really fun way to play the game.
Yeah, you're keeping yourselves a little bit more proactive, and maybe if the T's take a little bit too long to trigger the play on the other side of the map, you could catch someone off guard. Shush. Does get a bit of a bullet into the head with the first USP, but still gets the double.
Just because I mentioned it myself, and obviously there were so many rumors going on, but that Heroic lineup with, you know, with Cadian and with Stown and Yabby and all the rest of them, I still feel like it's such a shame that fell apart. Like, I still have regrets about the fact that it didn't just continue, because it was so much fun. I felt like it, you know, it wasn't one of those lineups that died because they just couldn't go any further and they were defeated. It just died because of internal madness, you know?
Yeah. It's also, it is also a little bit sad because it feels like some of the players never recovered after this team fell apart as well, right? I mean,
for sure,
Stown is not around anymore right now. He's just taking a break. Cadian, after this project, went over to Liquid. That didn't work. Astralis didn't work. Now he's struggling a little bit on OG. Testis is doing the best out of everyone, probably. Shush was able to find his way back to playing somewhat of a competitive level of Counter-Strike. But yeah, it's been tough for a lot of them. Obviously, Abby's still on Astralis, which I guess you could say is fine for him, but it's nowhere near the level, even individually, at which he was before.
I agree. Yeah, it's kind of a, you know, maybe a lost chapter in history, but it's worth revisiting. Here come the flashbangs going over. I love the fact that they're using these SMGs in this particular round to just be very aggressive and bully their way forward. And honestly, GamerLegion only have 2 helmets on that CT side, so these SMGs could be dangerous. That was one of the helmets, and it is dead gone. Against the AK, it is not going to save you. PR moving in towards the back of these the A hallways, but the bomb's surely going to be planted right now. And honestly, I hate to say it, but GamerLegion are going to be careful. They might lose everything here. No helmets. Dink onto Towson. He's very nearly dead on that one. A lot of damage onto NIP too, but I think GamerLegion, they need the rifles. They can't afford to go for this retake.
No, this is an instant save, and it's such a great call out of NIP. Again, we're seeing how bold Snappy is with a lot of these ideas. It's very simple, Counter-Strike, right? No money for an op on the other side. We have confident rifles. Let's just contact in, get the kill. Kaspersky opens things up. Round's done. Basically in there. The moment that you see Hypex holding in towards A, you probably realize that they had a more stacked up middle at the start, so you're going to be aware of the possibility of a main flank. You're going to be a little bit more locked in when it comes down to just not giving any fights away, because you know there's probably not a lot of people nearby, and you don't want to give them a reason to go for the round. It's just a good way to keep GamerLegion at bay, not letting them play their proactive game on the CT side. There's the replay. That's a nasty shot out of Kaspersky, who had a phenomenal start on Mirage, and actually towards the latter stages of it, because they did lose 8 in a row. You all remember that. Throughout these 8 rounds, I think he was able to get 1 or 2 kills. So he did have a lot of issues at some point. It's nice to see him being back with such an important opener.
Yeah, he's such a crazy force on this team right now. Not that much saved on GamerLegion, M4 and the MP7 on Snacks. Ooh, a lot of damage at the beginning here, but they're getting overwhelmed. That's a bit unfortunate for NIP, and you gotta feel like that did not need to happen. It looked like the early grenade was gonna slow down GamerLegion, but you know what? They're trying to recover a little bit here. They've lost the A-bomb site, though. Wrinkle is about to confirm that there is nobody on the site at all. They get the bomb back here, so it still could be a very tough... Unless Kaspersky is also killed before you get to the A-bomb site, I think they're going to be fine.
Nice. Rinko's just going for the kill. This is such a massive play. Molotov gonna force Hypersuit to the fight, and Kaspersky is doing God's work right now. So is Rinko. A lot of patience. You catch PR, that's going to make you a little bit more confident.
Look at the fake drop down.
Fake, yeah. Still there. Snacks looking down, looking at the headshot angle. A bit of a peekaboo coming in. And there's a nice response coming out of Res. It's good damage, considering it's not a full buy.
You try to fake it again. That's just so cheeky. Res? He's getting the kill, but just at an unbelievable informational disadvantage here. I don't know how you could do this. And he has got the kit in the smoke. Yeah, maybe if you run knife out, you just kind of try and throw it on there and go straight for the defuse. I mean, if he gets close enough to throw the smoke, then actually it could be some trouble.
There's a nade on Shush.
Yeah, oh, you're right, there he is. But still, it's not easy to line it up where he is. It might not be just straightforward. Oh, he's going to crouch it in, throws it through. It's so scary. Imagine if you missed it and he just bounced it off the wall or something like that, but good work.
You know what's the thing? If it's anybody else on this team, I say there is an opportunity. Shush is probably the one that I believe the most to hit a nade like this.
Ooh. Yeah.
Still a little bit scary, considering that was not a full investment coming out of GamerLegion. Good damage in towards the cave. Casper did try his absolute best with the bait and all these kills, but Res keeping them at the bay, putting some good damage onto the board as well, when you have to appreciate the attempt as well. He was actually quite close to it. 1.8 seconds, you're right. If the nade misses, he's got it.
Yeah, would have been enough. That would have been horrifying. Back into the mix we go. It's mid-control attempted here for GamerLegion. Smoke is blown open there on the T side, but they don't actually see anybody. And yeah, for GamerLegion, just back on out. You already got the kill that you wanted here. You don't have to fight for the middle anymore.
Yeah, there's always a dink as well available. And Karen will get this one out of the M4 as well. So you lose quite a lot running a high-low in towards cave. Kaspersky shouldn't be getting more than 1 kill here. And even 1 might be wishful thinking. Oh. They disengage.
Yes, I mean, it's tempting to do when you already got the man advantage, right? The only thing I guess is that they're a bit low on grenades on the CT side. So if they give up way too much space, there is an opportunity maybe. But look at this. PR, okay. It's not as clean as it could have been. If he gets the kill very fast, then he can back off around the corner, but he has to stick around for the extra bullets, and then he can't escape any further. Wild spray on both sides, to be honest. Ken very nearly dead. 30 seconds. This is still a recoverable round.
Double fake. They're still going B.
Yeah, they are, but they've pushed him back to right. That might sell it a little bit. Snacks gets dropped next. 20 seconds. Nobody else on the site. Can they make their way out? Towson is dead next. Oh, this is disastrous, isn't it? Rez doing the best that he can to hold on to the round, but the fact that the bomb is even planted right now is a bit scary. There's the spray down, and now it's on to Rez. He's got the health advantage, but Kaspersky is looking for the ace clutch. He's already got 4, and he just needs a little bit more. Looking for it. He's just scoped up on the corner there, looking to see if he could catch him as he's coming out. Footsteps have been heard. I think Rez already has given up a bit of the game here, and Kaspersky is dead on. Perfect. Ace to clutch it, and an insane round for NIP.
This guy's an absolute beast. He's an absolute animal when he's on in the server. 9-1. And I know it wasn't a 1v5, but he gets every single one of these kills. 1v1 after 1v1. He just plays it so damn well. 3 frags onto the first couple ones, then the individual peeks into our CT spawn. Look at how easy he's making it look. The way that he isolates the fights as well. Getting the Oper, walking towards the back of the bomb site. He's just so elusive.
That's so hard to stomach. Oh, if you're on the GamerLegion side, they were playing it very conservatively. They were saying, you know, let's not go have any crazy fights here. That little mistake from PR, I mean, the flank is insane, right? But the fact that he pushes up and then he stays a little bit, so he's traded. It's just the small dominoes that start to fall, and then Kaspersky seizes the moment. Ace clutch to win the round. He's 9-1 after that round.
Absolutely crazy. 14 kills over all of his teammates combined 5 rounds in, and he's got 9 alone.
Yeah, that's hard to deal with. Oh, this is straight up B. There is a bit of a defense on the other side. Oh, he wants this. He's thinking about it. My God, that is close. Nearly guessing it through. It takes an enormous amount of damage for his troubles, though. NIP, look at how grouped up they are on the minimap. I don't love this when when all the T's are in one group like this and they're not, you know, like you could be losing so much map control on the other side without knowing. It
means that you need to play very quickly, right?
Yeah.
This execute needs to come through any moment now, but there's still 3 CTs here. Issue, they don't have utility.
The trade, very important trade. Snacks at the edge, he burns alive. There's nowhere to stand. They set everything on fire on the site. Towson will stay safe at least for a second there. He did catch a couple of strays through, but does even better on the follow-up. Shush and Kaspersky. The fact that he's still alive should be dangerous, but he's so low on health that you have to assume he's going to go down here. PR, nothing but a headshot from Kaspersky will do, and PR is waiting. That is very patient. He's the one that's supposed to be retaking, and instead he does that. Good kill from Shush, but he's locked in the corner, and PR's dancing, waiting for his teammate to show up. He must know this, Shush. Oh, good spray down. Rez on the other side, and Shush! Another clutch comes through. It's another ace clutch back-to-back. First Kaspersky, and then Shush on the follow.
How is this possible? When was the last time you've seen anything like this happen? Back-to-back aces from 2 different players on the same team, on the same bomb site. Unwinnable situations. This one more so than the previous.
I actually cannot remember the last time I've even seen, you know, back-to-back aces, never mind the clutches like this. What a display. This is what it's all about. And this is what we should be wanting. NIP, they want to make their way to Rotterdam. They want to play for the VRS points. They want to make it further. This is what it takes.
It just feels like you're stuck in the same crazy limbo if you're GamerLegion. It's lucid dreaming, but it's not dreams, it's nightmares. Every single time there's a 3v1 or a 2v1 in towards the B bomb side and you're up against the guy that's already gotten a double or a triple kill, he just goes all the way. And they played it well. Shush just isolated it perfectly. So clinical on the shots. If that doesn't tilt you, I don't know what does. And look at the nades.
Yeah. They will be fully tilted at this point. That just feels so bad. The fact that it happened once is one thing, but this other round... And PR even played it super well, right? He's not just fighting straight up. He's not fighting Shush in the corner. He's actually waiting for Rez to get closer, which is exactly what you'd want to see. Oh, maybe there is a lifeline here. Snacks getting the kill on Kaspersky. They are going to lose the A-bomb side, but if they could recover this with the AKs, there would be something.
Look at Renko. Big fight coming up. Low HP onto the second player as well, but he's going to disengage. This is a very smart play out of Renko. He's got the util as well. He can delay them.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. It's just fallen back. If he dies, there's a way in now. Very, very doubtful. He can burn this out forever. They do have smokes on the other side, but they don't have defuse kits. So it's a very, very long time to be waiting inside of a smoke to try and defuse. 10 seconds. There's the grenade coming out early. Shush just waiting in the corner, and I think the time has already escaped them here. Sure, Molotov not going to do anything with the smokers up, but they just don't have the time for the actual defuse. Snappy stays alive. Running away is Towson. It's 7 in a row. NIP making an exceptional case for themselves.
It's just so crazy. They've won 3 rounds in a row with just one player surviving, but it's because it's the T side. that they're not in financial ruins. And I mean, some of them are still are, right? Karen has got $800. Rinko's got nothing. Shush, Kaspersky have been able to build something up. Snappy's gonna drop over that up, so he's down to 500 as well. NAP is 7-0 up, and they don't have a single full buy in the bank. This is how close this game has been, but the score still reads 0 rounds for GamerLegion.
So hard to deal with. What could they do? GamerLegion, I mean, the coaching staff are going to be put to the test. This is where maybe you would want some sort of a tactical timeout. Maybe you do want some way to get mentally back into this one. They're going to try and flip the script on them and try and go early on towards the A-bomb site, but it actually feels like GamerLegion have a good read. I like this position for Rez. Backup is not that far away. I think Hypex is in the middle towards the red room, so as long as Rez can stay alive, I say that and I cursed him with the words, if he could have stayed alive, it would have been possible to defend the bomb site a lot more, but now it's tricky once again.
Oh, the nade. No one covering the bomb planter. That's going to be a freebie out of PR.
Perhaps a bit silly. We're going to try it again. This time no one's blowing open that smoke, but Shush is going down anyway. PR twice now defending the bomb plant, making sure that they can't get it done. Towson pushing on through. GamerLegion finally showing some signs of life here. It's PR with 3 kills. The first 2 ones absolutely critical.
It's just the fact that you wanted to plant for Donut, right? And it feels a little bit weird there. I think it was Kaspersky that committed to it initially. You've got all your teammates in towards the left-hand side. You know the Donut player is still alive. You just killed the A guy and you try and plant in front of the smoke. 1 HE was all that PR needed to deny that. There wasn't even the Molotov there. It feels like Kaspersky just rushed into it a little bit too much. That provides an opportunity, a big round coming out of PR, and it was about time. No bomb plant as well for the T's, and now you're looking at the money. This is probably the first time we've seen such a harsh reset for a CT or for a T-side team on the back of winning 7 in a row. But this is because of the damage done prior. And now you've got 2 MAC-10s, a Tech-9, 2 AKs. There's still a way back into this first half for GamerLegion. They can still make it look like a respectful effort. 4, 5 rounds. That would give you an opportunity. But anything less would leave you in a very tough position.
This is this is on a knife's edge for GamerLegion right now. They're so close to getting pushed over the cliffside here. But what a way to recover it for PR. Maybe that is enough to inspire the rest of the team. MAC-10s grouped outside of the B bomb site. This is a classic round, I think, on Ancient, where one mistake can cost you everything, and that might have been it. Shush takes the head of a Towson. I'm almost surprised not to see NIP immediately push the advantage. But yeah, they're going to try and set it up now. Great counter flash. Timing is exceptional. The MAC-10 here hunting in the corner. Snappy, he'll get the job done. Doesn't matter that he died. He just had to find it here. Snacks hiding inside. A couple of bullets left. Kaspersky finally doing it.
Ooh.
I love the killer instinct here for NIP. They knew what they had with the opening kill, and they wanted to follow it up.
Yeah, Weaver's spray as well in towards long. Maybe that was the way back. Snacks is able to somehow get a double kill out of all of this, but he still goes down, and this is such a shutdown call out of NAP as well. There's been a lot of these dedicated bomb site calls, right? I mean, just a straight up hit. Going out A, going out B, you boost Shush, he gets the kill on too long, then you know you should be looking just towards the left-hand side. Tolson's dead, and they didn't even know there was going to be 2 more, and again, they just go into a quote-unquote stacked bomb site, but they deal with it so nicely. Very difficult for the players trying to run out of cave with Snappy just charging right behind him and spamming like a madman.
Single round being won from GamerLegion. Just, you know, a slight correction it feels like, and then NIP right back to the action again. So hard for GamerLegion to construct a story of how to make this comeback work, and, you know, the belief in the turnaround when all you have is that 1 round to work with. At least they've got some money to play around with. That's something, right? The loss bonus is pretty big, and that's the one thing that we could maybe say here, but they are in deep trouble.
Yeah, they really are. 4 rounds is an absolute necessity if you want to try and stay competitive going into the second half. And Rez, he's just inhaling those HEs in towards red every single time. Starting the round on 52 HP, and again, they're going in towards that A-bomb site on contact. With all the utility, the double smoke in towards the lane, they faked it very well that they were trying to get up close and personal, at least in towards blue or cave. And with the utility damage on Rez, PR probably doesn't feel safe enough to leave him alone. NIP have an empty bomb site.
Yeah, they do. it's always worth testing, I think, on this T side. Is there's so often nobody on the A bomb side early on. And it's obviously not because it's bad strategy or bad defense from GamerLegion. It's just that they know that control in the middle is so important. Now they have to attempt a retake. They've got one kit on snacks. Oh, this is risky. If you lose any players right away here, you almost have to save very much immediately. Time has already run down quite a bit. And they're grouping up towards CT spawn. Early round of grenades are coming in here. Shush holding the line close. It's Ken to get the first one. A couple of headshots, making the retake very near impossible. Ken ends up with 3 so far. Hypex, great shots, but none of it matters any longer. He doesn't have the time. He doesn't have the kit either. And Ken, already dead, but Wrinkle, yeah, he's going to die anyway here. The AWP was going to be gone no matter what. So, NIP continuing great calls. Snappy's really making this team look good. I mean, he's got 3 kills himself, but who cares about that?
I don't think anyone gives a damn about it. You're 9-1 up on the T side, and you've just walked into another empty bomb side. Look at that sequence out of care. They were just walking into this crosshair. It felt like a triple kill out of nowhere, out of the young new man on the lineup. And he's really showed up. He wasn't part of that prestige duo of the back-to-back ace clutches from Shush and Kaspersky, but he's definitely bringing some impact now. It's another 5-man play.
Yeah, the NIP Death Squad showing up. But this is the problem with being locked in. Look at the push that's coming out from the A hallways. We actually mentioned this a couple of rounds ago, how if on the T side you're all in one group like this, the risk is that you lose the map control. And now the CTs know it's not just about the fact that you're getting shot in the back, it's the fact that the defense is going to be well aware. Let's see if they can hold on. Hypex gets a shot, but he is hunted down through the Molotov. Eventually killed with the AK from Snappy, but that flank is coming in. Snappy knows now, but he's going to be dead anyway. Res,
what?
6 sprayed. I don't even know. He killed all 3 through the smoke.
That's mental. He was probably the only person that was not supposed to get these kills. With the flank coming in, with the spam coming in through the wall, Res just mows all of them down through the long smoke. It was about time for GamerLegion to pick up another one on the board. This third again an assist. And again, and if he had no money, Snappy was actually able to get that opening on the spam from blue. Okay, he did see the first 2 before the smoke popped up. That explains it. Is it going to be enough though? Even if they are able to get 3 rounds, Anders, I still feel like it's going to be such a difficult way back for GamerLegion in the second half. I know we've already seen one crazy comeback out of them. And maybe that's a bit of a question to be posed, right? First things first, if you're GamerLegion and you're able to play that good Counter-Strike, why are you struggling with these slow starts? Why are you struggling to close out situations like the lost clutches against Kaspersky and Shush? And if you're NIP, what is the issue with closing out maps? Because the previous one they should have won, this one they should 100% win. If this somehow gets competitive, then all the pressure is going to be onto NIP's shoulders. But we're very far away from that reality. The one we're living in right now is the Ninjas once again making their way to the Netherlands in a month's time.
I mean, this is definitely... It looks like a really one round here, or one half for NIP. 9-2. I mean, if they get another round or not, I think they're going to be fine either way. I don't know what it's going to take for GamerLegion to bring it back. They're going to have to prove it right now. At least they've got a great situation economically in this final round. But yeah, I do feel like NIP are going to be able to qualify. I can't imagine the world in which they give this one up. Love to be wrong, because it would be a sick comeback. But there we go. Yeah, he did actually get the kill on Hypex. So that's something. Oh, Res. So well aware. Here's the footsteps. They send Kaspersky flying over. That's kind of sick. You know what? Decent work, honestly, for NIP to get this close and get the bomb planted. Don't love the spray for PR. I feel like you've already got the advantage here. Wrinkle playing in the corner, so he's going to be able to see some of the shadows coming in on the other side. Ooh, doesn't matter. Snacks gets him and gets the follow-up as well. So it is going to be a 9-3 at the end of the half here. NIP flying. What a sick first half. Back-to-back ace clutches coming in. It sets them up very nicely. If GamerLegion have enough, we'll find out after the break.
She said she loves you, but she can't love me.
But I love you.
Yeah. Look, I know my man's going crazy. I gotta brag on myself, I amaze me. I got phase me.
I won't play window anymore.
What's going on?
Play your role. 1xBet.
The madness continues as we return to the second half, third map here. GamerLegion versus NIP. It's the RES Showdown, and yeah, we're here with Relog and looking to find somebody that can qualify their way into the Blast tournament. And honestly, at this point, NIP look like it's a done deal for them. Really impressed with the way that Snappy's been leading the team so far. Individually, Kaspersky's been playing well. Shush has been having a great day, and obviously the back-to-back ace clutches, that's worthy of a headline or two, I think, all on its own. So NIP,
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, they've made their way almost.
Yeah, if you lose a game, if you lose a map where you get back-to-back ace clutches in buy rounds as well,
yeah,
that is mental. And you've won the first pistol too. This is a pistol round and 2 rounds that you had no business winning that broke the money on the other side of the server. A lot of close scenarios as well. A lot of situations where you had 1 player alive, where you had 2 players alive. They barely had any money throughout that first half on the T side, but they still got 9 rounds. If you're GamerLegion, you probably don't feel like you've played that bad of a map, honestly. You probably feel like you were just lacking enormously in the closing stages of the rounds, which in itself is an entirely different conversation, a big problem. True. But still not impossible. You're able to do it once, being down 8-12 on Mirage. That was against map and match points for the side of NIP.
Yeah.
Can you do it again, though? This is the big question here for GamerLegion.
I don't know. I mean, it feels like it's such a worse battle for them this time around. I guess if they can win the pistol on this T side, at least it starts off a bit interesting. At least there's a bit of a conversation, right? 9-3. I mean, we've seen comebacks from the scoreline many times in MR12, so it's not completely out of the question. Just who is going to stop Shush and Kaspersky at this point in time? PR is the most likely answer that we're going to be looking for, but that they don't have a lot of runway right now to get everything up and running. They really don't. There we go.
Ancient has been an alright map for both these teams so far. So good for NIP. GamerLegion now T side. Anders, this is not even the side on which they were able to come back on the previous map. That was on the defense. Obviously, different map, different rules. We all know the saying, but it all has to start here with a pistol. Double smoke, double flash, Molotov in the hands of PR as well. So looking like another potential B play out of the T's here. Although the bomb is actually headed in towards the left-hand side. Might be the good old let's get up heaven and then go cave in towards B.
Yeah, they're taking the way around here. Not going to be finding anything. There are 2 sets of dualies on the other side. Oh, this is dangerous. They're both in the cave as well. You're going to think that's cleared out now, especially with Wrinkle playing this corner. Big distraction. Kaspersky, good for the 1. Makes a jump around. That's madness. No! Gets another headshot. They've unleashed the cowboy in the cave. I have no idea how that's even done. That should be illegal. Snacks has managed to sneak on through, and like we said, he's a very elusive player, but Snappy's coming back to take a look. He's going to find him here. Oh, Snacks, it's great work. Oh, and he gets the headshot as well. Takes down Kaspersky. That is getting away with so much. I thought at least, even if he dies there, Snappy, he would make sure that Kaspersky had enough time to run away, but now it's 1 versus 1. Shush. Not immediately on the hunt. He's looking for it, but man, if there's one player in the world I wouldn't want to be up against in a 1v1, it might be Snacks.
Especially with a Glock. Candy Apple as well. You get the lore. Snacks has got an opportunity. The only issue is he was one of the people with utility, right? So he doesn't have that armor. It's just 100 HP of health. That's it. 100 points. And Shush, he's committed to the wrong bomb site. Snacks is going to get that bomb planted, and Shush, this is going to start making him a little bit more nervous. No smoke, no defuse kit on that CT player. Snacks is instantaneously in a massive advantage.
Yeah, impossible for Shush to really guess, so he decides, instead of guessing, I'm just going to flip the coin, and this time came up the wrong way for him. He's run all the way here, has to just try and find him really quickly, jumping past here. He's already found him. That's really quick, but now the battle is on, and Snacks ducking and diving behind the box. A lot of damage onto him, and Shush finds the shot, and there's enough time for the defuse as well. That is so close to Snacks getting that 1v3 clutch. That would have made a difference. That would have brought GamerLegion, I think, back mentally into the game, but it doesn't go their way.
At least you've got a forest bite coming up, but yeah, you're spot on. It felt like that was one of these moments where Snacks is just going to make it work. There's the replay as well. Cave setup. Every single one of them going for one kill up until it was time for Kaspersky, and he's just flying around playing Assassin's Creed and Counter-Strike in one. Nice try. Close call for Snacks. At least he guarantees them enough money for a forest buy in the next round. And at this point, GamerLegion can't really decide whether they want to go for the forest or not. 4 kills and a bomb plant being down 310. You gotta go for the investment. You're going all in.
That is just so close to being the recovery and the momentum that they were looking for there. Cool to see Snacks giving it all to win that round, but it just wasn't enough. At least they get the bomb planted, double Galil, AK in the hands of Rez as well. But what is the plan? They're waiting, still in T-spawn, looking to see if they could find a timing. They're expecting that NIP might try something here, but NIP are not even close to the middle right now. They are saying we're going to be far back on the map. You can do whatever you want with the front of it. We'll just wait for you to show up to a bomb site.
Yeah, and this is a little bit problematic as well, right? Because NIP have not really used all of their util. They still have a bunch of smoke, some Molotov, a bunch of flashes. So the more time you just spend right now, if you're a GamerLegion, clearing those angles on contact and so slowly, the higher the possibility that you'll have to run through some utility eventually. Ooh.
That might have been a bit of a mistake from Rinko. Shush is here holding the smoke. That's going to really slow them down. They have to come through Rez. If he dies, nice return from Hypex. But I was going to say, there's not enough time for them to really wait behind this one. And you can see the panic slowly starting to set in here. They want to make their way back for the middle. 25 seconds. When are NIP going to realize what's going on? Oh, they're doubling back. They're going back to the A-bomb side. They've realized it was a bit too telegraphed. And you know what, GamerLegion? They might have done this perfectly. They're going to walk into an empty A-bomb side. It's right in the nick of time. If anyone was still on A, it could have been the end of the round here. But they will get the bomb plant.
That might have to be a save. Snappy's going to try and chase down, get an early kill. No one's looking into CT. Kind of felt like they should have heard him, and there goes the kill. But the rifles have not moved away. If Snappy goes huge and gets a double kill, maybe you can join in and try to go for the late retake. He had a defuse kit as well. GamerLegion answer back. That is crucial. Very crucial.
There's so much communication happening when that smoke goes down towards Donut. You could see GamerLegion like, okay, do we run through? Maybe not. Okay, we're going to go back. There's not quite enough time. I mean, there is enough time to run back to the B bomb side, but the problem is it already feels like they kind of know, and then they double back towards A. In that moment, so much is decided. And they actually picked the right one. Bit of a coin toss.
It's a very
almost.
good mid-round call out of Snacks, right? Because you know you have a 4 versus 3 as well. You know NIP wouldn't really want to throw everything away, so they're likely to stack a bomb site if they feel like they have a read. So you try to give them one, right? You try to give them something to believe in. And they did. Are you ready for another comeback, Anders? That's the question.
I don't know if mentally if I am, but you know, if GamerLegion can claw their way back, then I'm not gonna complain at all. That would be sick to see.
All right. I'm ready mentally. I'm not ready physically. My heart might stop, but I'm all in for it.
It's just to remind everyone, there is a lot on the line here. Qualification for a major tournament happening in Rotterdam under the Blast banner. Know that it's important. You don't want to fall below the threshold of the VRS where you've got to claw your way back playing 100 million online games. That, you know, you'd rather qualify for the big lands and try and see if you can have an impact there. And also the experience for some of these squads is just really important. So you don't want to miss out. Towson, there we go. Takes down Kaspersky at the start here. I mean, if they win this round, NIP have no money. It goes from like a 10-4 to a 10-6.
Yeah.
That's pretty doable, you know?
It's pretty game on, isn't it? Tolson keeping it going. Look at how sharp the Dane has been. Another impact kill out of him. They still have the rifle in the hands of Karen, but that cursed M4 that Kaspersky started the round with has now been deleted twice by Tolson. And Karen is going to get a 1v1. That's a kill onto Snags. That should further indicate B is the only valuable option. Close range Snappy. How much do you have in that MP9? Answer none. A little bit of damage. Shush all alone under pressure. Taken down by Tolson. Make it a hat trick for the Dane, and it's Karen who's got a good timing onto PR. They don't really know he's in towards the right-hand side, so he gets one more, make it a double, not another ace.
We've already had 2. If there is a way to find another one, I feel like it's too much to ask here if I can. Bomb ticking in front of him. They've got a Molotov as well. There should be no way. As long as they stay as far back as they are. Pretty good move on GamerLegion. He's going to steal the Galil, but they deny any chance of anything like that. No more ace clutches coming in. We've already had more than enough.
Game goes on. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is starting to look a little bit familiar to something we've already seen in this series. That is NAP being in a quote-unquote unlosable position. A situation in which GamerLegion should be anything but trying to get back into the game. They should be on the ground on their knees begging for mercy. They're not doing that though. They keep on getting back up. And they're trying to do it again.
You gotta admire the dedication for GamerLegion. It's not easy to get rid of them. I think it shows some strength in the team that they're not just already crumbled. Smash into the middle here, and RES trying to back around. He can't really see a thing, but he's still able to get the kill. And they know that there's a player in the corner. Not
it's
a big
very
chance.
clean.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And there's not a big chance for NIP to really win this round, but I like the attempted flash in the middle. You got to give them credit at least. But that's the 10-6 scoreline we were talking about already finding us, so...
And you know what's the thing? We rarely got to see clean rounds like these out of NIP on the T side, right? This is GamerLegion boosting up the confidence, even though it's against the low buy. This is the type of round that makes you feel like anything's possible, right? Because you keep 5 alive, you have the money, you have the buffer. It's not like NIP is on 11 or 12 rounds right now. You know you can still afford to be a little bit more creative with what you're doing. You can afford to take chances, take risks. You could potentially afford to lose a round right now, so it doesn't really feel like they have to be afraid. And Karen has already started this round on low HP. 2 HEs flying in towards red, and he's inhaled both of them.
Four-round gap. Things have got interesting again. GamerLegion
Now you start seeing that the difference is really the ace clutches, right? In a game like this,
that is a good point.
It's such an even game.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting way to kind of think about it, right? If we subtract those rounds, then it might even be an almost even game here. It might sort of be like more like an 8-8 game, maybe even favoring GamerLegion, to be honest, just for the economic implications. You never know.
Yeah, that's why we were saying in the first half, even though it was, what, 7-0, 8-0, it didn't really feel like it, did it? It felt like it should have been a little bit closer.
Spursky. Grenade ticks in, lands right at his feet, but he just wants to be close enough to burst somebody down. Shockingly hard to clear these corners in this in the cave, as everyone knows. Molotov is the way to do it, though, if you want to be absolutely sure. It does also obviously slow you down, so there's a chance for more of a rotation coming over. It's not going to happen in time. Rainfall has to get a multi-spray down. One will not cut it. Snappy looking to stop the bomb. He gets one, and follow-up Ken is there as well. Hold on. 19 seconds on the clock here. The bomb's finally picked up, but gotta be careful here. Snacks is
Everyone's
very
so low.
Oh my god. He's trying to see if he can do anything at all, but any bullet touches him, even through the box here, he's gonna be dead. And Snappy knows it. He's so close to being able to get this into a 1v3. Snacks with an important kill. PR with a headshot as well. I can't believe Snacks still had more to contribute to the round. And now the question is there a kit that they could pick up somewhere? I'm not even sure if there is. And if not, this is a long ways off. Ken swings out. He does get the spray down onto PR.
It's going to be close.
I think it might just be enough time, but you're right. It's down to the wire here. Good triple for Ken. If he had the kit, it would already be one. It's so close, but it's not enough. Oh my god. It's PR and Snacks in a 2v3, and they somehow win it.
You have to feel like that double kill from Snappy should have been enough, right? Look at him in towards long. He's isolating both these fights, and it's Karen as well to support him. That was a great effort coming out of the IGO and Karen. Snacks with 1 HP is able to get a kill, and that has to be the difference. 0.25 seconds away. 1/4 of a second is what makes the difference. And it's NIP back to another half by GamerLegion. Finally winning a clutch as well.
Crazy scenes. NIP start to feel a bit desperate, perhaps. The money's not really holding out for them. It's another round with just pistols here. PR having a great time cleaning up kills left and right. This huge lead that they had, just the open runway to qualifying for the main tournament, and now it's thrown into question. You gotta wonder, can we actually make it? Are we about to get caught up to again? I mean, they could have won it on Mirage even. The second map was a big chance for NIP to take it. It went into overtime, and now that could be happening one more time.
The Royal Choke is ready, Your Highness. It's getting ready. It's in the oven. It's baking. NIP, 12-8 on Mirage, 9-3 up, with back-to-back ace clutches. A 1 versus 2 out of Kaspersky on low HP, and a 1 versus 3 out of Shush in an unwinnable position. Another 1v1, denying Snags that pistol round clutch. So many of these situations going your way. Both pistol rounds as well. And it might not be enough. When you think about all of these rounds, usually we say that those 2 pistol rounds in a BO1, which essentially this engine is, are putting you in a very, very big advantage. They've got the ace clutches on top of that. And this is still a 2-round game. I have no clue how GamerLegion is still in this one. NIP probably are asking the same questions.
Yeah.
But how much is that going to tell you about, first things first, the issues that NIP have with closing out games? Second, GamerLegion. This is on the back of just changing an IGL, a coach, and an assistant coach just a month ago. IND, Grashok, and Snags joining in, and it's the Polish party right now, baby. They're just not backing off. You can't get rid of them. They're like cockroaches.
Yeah, in the best possible way, right? Because they were getting nuked by NIP at the start, but they've mutated. They're back, more powerful than ever, it seems. It's really, really impressive. I mean, and again, I think we can give some credit to the coaching staff, right? Because this is where you need to stop a team from mentally crumbling, and GamerLegion have really not crumbled. Yes, they've obviously been stressed out. There's no question about it, but a great test of the strength, the mental strength of GamerLegion right now. Seems like it's at an all-time high. 2 rounds separating these ones. Towson top fragging. I feel like he's got a bit of a knack for playing Ancient. I don't know what it is, but I remember a couple of games in the past where I've seen Towson kind of run wild with it.
Danish Counter-Strike. PR trying to take the initiative. This time walks right into the ult of Wrinkle. This is going to be a free opener for the side of NIP. Another 5v4. A-plate coming up though. Snappy and Cairn.
See what they could do. Smoke is up already. Trying to guess the timing.
Ooh.
Towson finds him right through. Res with the headshot. That's how you open it up. Oh my. Suddenly they're a man down, and Wrinkle's been put away here. Smoke up towards the donut position. That's very hard to deal with. And Rez has pushed through, although that is being... Oh my god, shush. He read it perfectly. He knew that Rez might try and do that, but the former NIP player himself steps into that fight, gets a clean headshot. Kaspersky and Wrinkle will have to walk away from this. We're up to 10-9. This is so ridiculous.
And the clutch factor has just betrayed you, right? It could be a lover, it could be an evil mistress, and that's what it is right now. All the clutches were going your way in the first half. Now, you're getting the advantages, you're getting the good positions. And in a 5v4, I mean, there's a lot of questions to be asked as well, right? Why does Snappy commit to the spray like this? Why does he allow himself to get taken down through the smoke? You have a little bit of utility left. You have a fuse kit. You can play the 5v4 retake in towards that A-bomb site. Snappy goes down. Then another 1v1 is given away in towards Donut. It just feels like they're losing hope almost. Getting a little bit desperate here, NIP. 1 round their lead now.
I mean, I could understand it as well if NIP start to feel desperate, to be honest. It feels like this is a done deal. And now it's absolutely not. Sick double nade. Thrown over into the middle. Very good with the early damage there. Who is going to step up from NIP to... I mean, Ken's been playing better and better. Kaspersky's there. Shush, like, they got a great trio of players at the moment. But they need more somehow. They need another factor here. Maybe Wrinkle with the AWP. I mean, he won the opening fight in the last round. If he can do it again, then maybe that's a way to get into these games. Smoke up towards Red Room. Yeah, there might be but they're losing mid control though at the same time NIP.
Yeah, you've just got Karen jiggling in towards Donut. At least you know they haven't crossed in towards Red, but they are looking to retake it. PR has been spotted out throwing some utility, but he's the only one, so they should be on high alert in towards mid.
And not high enough, it seems. Ken going to be going down. Shush, trying to push up behind him. Oh, the timing could be sick, but yeah, he's got to be careful. He could get shot at the back as well. PR is right here. The timing might elude them, and indeed, PR will get the job done. Shush to go down. It's all disastrous for NIP.
It's not even close right now. They're not even getting the opening kills, not even getting in the good positions anymore. This round is so convincing for the side of GamerLegion. The mid walk, Karen all alone, second player all alone. They're all being caught off guard right now. PR cutting off rotations. Rinko's good on the exit, but even he's gonna get taken down through the smoke. And look at PR. Kaspersky's not saving. He's gonna go down. Not a single rifle saved up going into the next one. And this is a leveled game. 10 out of the last 11 rounds going in favor of GamerLegion. And they are back once again. That was a 9-1 lead, Anders. 9-1 NIP.
How do you justify this? I mean, for NIP, this is one of those moments that's just so hard to deal with later on. Unless they can find a way to still bring it back. I mean, obviously that is still a possibility, but you feel like you did all the hard work. You pretty much had everything going your way, and now it turned out you needed a couple of rounds more. Money is busted. GamerLegion overflowing with confidence. Townsend with 18, he's really stepped it up. A PR, hard player to be up against once again. Good use of the grenades here. I mean, it's really flipped in a matter of rounds. Not that long ago we said, yeah, maybe 10-6, like at least GamerLegion get up to 6 rounds. That would be good, but now they've tied the game, and NIP in free fall at the moment. There's no parachute at all, it seems.
Oh, they're the ones begging for mercy right now. Dangerous setup in towards the cave, though, and they do have the smoke to delay, so you can't really go forward, but you can get the kills regardless. Snacks through the smoke onto Snappy. From one IGL to another, and Snappy's 5-17 right now. It's been a tough game individually for him as well. It doesn't help you with the calling, especially when your team is struggling that much.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really, really tough job, isn't it? One of the reasons why many people shy away from trying to do the IGLing at all. RES, he's just keeping him occupied over here. It's a good shot, but what they need is more defense at the B-bomb site. Kaspersky, 15 health and an MP9. I really strongly doubt that's going to be working out, but he almost has to give it a shot here for his team to do anything. He's managed to make his way through the smoke. That's kind of sick, actually. Oh, but he misses the opportunity. A good kill there would have set his teammate up for potentially a bit of a retake. Now, it is a hell of a lot harder. Shush and Can they do anything more? They don't have the kit. Just jiggling the corner here. Can might find a timing, actually. This could be kind of crazy. But the bomb is ticking away. There's the first one. 2v2. Shush with the headshot. But again, they've got all the work ahead of them now. 10-second defuse. Towson, he's the man of the hour. See if he can swing wide enough to stop this defuse. It's already happening. 1 second left. Shush will get the kill, and it's a retake for NIP. That's so ridiculous.
Well, we're back to the madness, I guess. NIP against all odds. This is the round that they win. Especially with Kaspersky not getting a kill. I mean, if he's able to find one, surely you can imagine. But a 2 versus 3 like this, Karen catching that timing, walking up the ramp, winning the first fight, just pre-firing Hypex. This game is an absolute madness. It's cinema. It's carnage on the server. And we're all in here for it. Final tactical timeout for GamerLegion. This is the last timeout that both these teams have in regulation. If we were to go into OT, there would be a set of more overtimes. 1 per team extra.
True. Oh my god. This is maybe they can find just enough here towards the end. I mean, for NIP, that's the hope right now, isn't it? That there is some way to manufacture another couple of rounds so that they can dodge any dream of overtime, or they can sort of say, okay, it was close, it was scary, but we were the better team today. That last round, maybe it sparked a bit of a gleam in their eyes. Wrinkle here. Classic Molotov. Does keep him safe that smoke, so maybe he could still do it. A flash from a teammate to try and set him up for another peek. They know that he's in there. Are they at least guessing? Oh, that is Wrinkle with a kill, but it could have been a team kill, to be honest, on the other side. He almost looked like he shot his teammate in the face.
I'm not sure if Hypix even pulled the trigger there. Did he?
Maybe he didn't.
I'm not sure how he doesn't. He doesn't find anything. Maybe Wrinkle was just lightning quick. Either way, it's not great, but PR is able to find a response, and this is not a lurk smoke. This is a failed CT side smoke in towards the ramp. It's not the greatest one, provides him with a bit of a gap, and he's going to utilize that perfectly, so NAP punished for the lack of a proper lineup for that re-smoke in towards the ramp. And you get a 4v4, another B play cooking up, but Rinko has rotated in here to support the rifle of Kaspersky.
Okay. Getting dangerously close. Kaspersky, does he have any more magic left in him? Look at how uncomfortable it is. Oh, some spam throw. He very nearly dies to that. 29 seconds, but Kaspersky's still alone. He still gets the kill on the snacks. I mean, that's pretty good, right? He's completely alone here.
Oh, what?
Wrinkle gets a shot. I don't know how. Shush. With the shot on the Hypex, leaving PR. 15 seconds. Dodges most of the grenade damage, trying to get the bomb planted, but they're swinging on him. They're not even giving him a chance here. Wrinkle with 3 kills, and suddenly NIP with a chance to close it out and win the qualifier.
And this is another massive moment out of Wrinkle. You were speaking about it just a couple of rounds ago. Karen, Shush, Kaspersky, they've been playing a good game, but we were missing out on Wrinkle a little bit. A bit of Wrinkle magic, but you get a lot of it in this round. 3 kills out of the ult. That second shot fully blinded as well, able to get the headshot connection onto the ult. And then running PR down. That's 6 map, match, and series points, qualification points in total for NIP. 4 of them on Mirage, 2 more here on Ancient. Surely they didn't let GamerLegion come back into this one just to close it out in the end.
You would think that that isn't the case, but you know, we'll see. I feel like at this point I don't want to make any big predictions because I feel so far this whole map has felt like NIP were just going to win it all throughout, and GamerLegion keep proving that they always have a way back. So I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and just kind of wait and see. Very impressive work though for them at the moment. I mean, this is GamerLegion showing what they're all about. NIP though, not a bad result either way. I mean, both teams, I think, are showing that the start of the season here is, they're interesting teams to follow.
Absolutely. And both of them showing how much this event means to them, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is an opportunity to qualify, and I know we said it a couple times, but this is the Blast Open Rotterdam 2026, one of the last massive events before the VRS cutoff for the first major of 2026, which is going to be the legendary Cathedral of Cologne. $1.1 million prize pool for the Blast Open Rotterdam. And you've got the best teams in the world in there. Tyloo already winning the Rising Asia event in qualifying. We still have 3 more spots, one of them for the winner of this. And yeah, that reaction out of Kaspersky, this is everything right now. This is the vibe. This is the emotions. It's been such an exhausting, such a stressful game for all these players and the coaches. Both teams have given it their all. And we're already near the final stages. There's no more maps to be played out. It's Ancient until we've got a winner. And even though they've got a 12-10 lead, with how crazy this game has been, we just can't write GamerLegion off. Not yet.
Oh, absolutely anything can happen still. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see here. It's been hard for either team to close it out. GamerLegion, they've already proved on the second map of Mirage that they are able to turn these games around. They were looking crushed and defeated on their own map pick even. But suddenly they found that little bit of extra runway, and suddenly they were back in the game. This one, it could be a very, very similar result here. Snappy, by the way, still at 5 kills. I said earlier we don't care about how many kills he has, but this one of those moments where you say, come on, just 1 or 2 Snappy rounds where he gets a kill, and that's it. Like, we're through. They're done.
Mirage.
Yeah, they're going to go straight for it. I do love the idea.
So ballsy.
Snappy, you know you have to stay alive. Even if it's full-on retake, you've got to. Kaspersky gets the first. 4 more to go. Good damage onto PR, but he sacrificed that damage to get the deep Molotov to keep the rest of the team back. That one grenade is holding back 4 members of NIP. Finally, they get to go through and they catch PR with a grenade in hand. He wanted to hold them back even further. Res to go down.
Surely
Ken looking to send NIP towards Rotterdam. They want to qualify. They're done with GamerLegion here. Ken comes in, triple in hand. And Towson, he might have played a sick game of Ancient, but this is asking way too much. The defuse is already done on the other side. And NIP, oh, you could feel the excitement on their side. It's well deserved as well. They fought hard for this one.
Oh, Snappy's exhausted. It's just the emotional crash out of the IGO after a series like this. This was such an emotional roller coaster. You should have closed it out on Mirage. You should have qualified back then. They couldn't close it, but they are able to do so on Ancient. It was a very labored affair. NIP dropping a map in every single series they played in this event, but they are able to book their tickets for Rotterdam.
What a great achievement, NIP. I mean, really hard-fought game. They were tested to the limit. Probably frustrating, you got to say, for GamerLegion looking back on it, because I'm sure that they're going to be thinking, man, we had many, many opportunities where we could have taken this. And that is true. They could have been winning this instead, but they'll have to try again next time.
They surely will have to, and this is a big hit for GamerLegion VRS-wise as well, right? Because you're missing out on another big event for NIP. This is... You pretty much booked for the major, I dare to say, right? You've got EPL coming up. Now you've got Blast Open Rotterdam. It's very difficult to imagine a world where they don't make it to Cologne.
I feel like this is going to set them up very, very nicely. And honestly, like I said, this NIP team, I think one of the more exciting versions of any NIP team that I've seen for a very long time. You can see the formula. You can see what Snappy is doing in terms of the leadership and everything else. I'm pretty excited. I think it's good news, and congratulations to NIP for making it this far. Dodged 3D Max. They were taken out early. That was one of the big surprises early on. BC Game also defeated by GamerLegion. So, yeah, NIP, I'm not going to say it was an easy runway. They definitely had to fight very, very hard to get here, also against the General Mates early on. But they are victorious in the end.
Yeah, and it's a big result as well for Karen, I feel like, as a player, considering that he did have a couple big rounds towards the end of that Ancient. The fact that he had a very difficult start in the first couple of events for NIP, and obviously they're going to need a little bit of time to get him a little bit more comfortable in the team. But for him to know that he's joined this team and they've qualified for another big event and things are going in the right direction is definitely going to make him feel a little bit more confident in himself and in the team and in this new environment going forward.
Yeah, no question about it. Well, we don't have anything else, unfortunately. Shout out to Relog for always being cool, and yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys back on this channel in the future again. Sure, there'll be more Counter-Strike coming up, but so far it's all NIP celebrating today. We'll catch you on the next one. Have a great evening, and see you soon.
She said she loves you, but she can't love me.
But I love you.
Yeah. Look, I know my man's going crazy. I gotta break on myself, I amaze me.
I won't play window anymore.
What's going on?